Hopefully.
Unless I'm incredibly unlucky.
Alright, stream is officially up.
Well, now to
I
wait for Noah.
Yep, but that's fine. We can talk a little bit and kind of catch up anybody who might be watching. Um,
Yeah.
to give a quick recap, what ended up happening last session is y'all went and rescued Sword from prison. In doing so, you ended up not necessarily creating an enemy, but definitely didn't end up giving yourselves a good name, as they hadn't quite known that you guys were sort of more on the rebel side than anything. Um, Afterwards, you ended up kind of meeting up together, and Sword said that she had to end up freeing her dragon wherever it may be. Where Frosted Pine kind of gave the hard news and let Sword know that her dragon was dead. It was sad, and she said she had to go to the grave site so that way she could end up, mourning and seeing where her dragon lay. Y'all ended up obliging her and came with her to the graveyard, where y'all ended up searching for a little bit. She gave you a little bit of history on the dragons and this land and how everything kind of works with the Dragon Guard. How she was originally the general of the army, but she ended up coming across something where you discovered, as far as you know, there's a rain ring here. Probably the first dragon from Pyria to end up making it to these lands, more or less. And apparently, whatever it is that she saw down there, which she's not sure, but you're guessing it's a rainwing, ended up getting her basically fired and summarily tried to be executed by throwing her overboard on a ship. But you all found her. Afterwards, you finally found her grave, just right here, out in the middle of nowhere, not even in a proper grave site like all these others. And, well, after she ended up finding it and crying for a while, an assassin showed up and grabbed Moss. Moss, through her fear, ended up more or less empowering the assassin, making the assassin just as strong and deadly as any of you, more or less. However, you were able to more or less stop him and able to free Moss from his grasp, where you then ended up interrogating him via the spell that Glimmer was able to use with one of their animus touched objects in order to get him to tell the truth of anything that he said. He ended up telling you why he was here. He was sent by the Emperor himself, and that he didn't mean to kill anybody unless he was forced to. He was just here to give you a message that everything would be like water under a bridge so long as you ended up coming to the Emperor and having a feast. Mantis would even end up being there. You'd be able to see Mantis once more. And finally end up talking to the Emperor like you should have been able to a long time ago. Y'all decided y'all weren't going to kill him and are instead taking him along the trip in order to get to the Emperor's castle. And that's where we last left off. Perfect timing. I just ended up
Perfect.
completing the recap.
Heck
Awesome.
yeah.
Apologies for the lateness. My family was very insistent that I stay and watch TV.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Excuse me.
It will take a moment, but I will be loading into the uh, Tailspire very soon.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm having to re-download Tailspire.
Oh, yeah, I should have had you do that earlier.
I wish you had.
Uh, I thought it was already installed because it was there on the screen, you know.
Yeah, so did I.
It's no worries. Y'all can still play without physically being able to see it for at least a little bit. Left you guys off in the last place you were at, inside of the graveyard.
Yeah.
To some people, you could call it the raveyard.
The
Ugh.
graveyard.
What is this
Woo!
necromancy simulator?
Yeah. Grave Lord Nito from Dark Souls. Rave Lord Nito.
Every time I think of every time anyone says graveyard, I think of the song Necromancer and Dancing.
Mm.
That's great.
I think
Yeah.
the only person who ended up rolling their intelligence was Isopod. Did
I did too. I got a 6.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked on the other stream. It was a
Yeah.
6. Okay.
I forgot to roll that. What do I roll?
It's your intelligence. You're not gonna add your saving throw. It's just gonna be the modifier for your intelligence.
For that specific thing, you need to click the hold on, I gotta pull it up real quick and verify.
If you're on Roll20, you just click on under the
You just literally click the
big thing.
word intelligence in your stat block.
Yeah, that.
I got a
Why is
9.
there
9. Okay. So nobody really has learned anything so far.
Yeah, I
Is it
believe you
possible
did.
to roll for aquatic?
Say again.
Did y'all say to roll for aquatic at some point?
Well, the thing is that that's an exclusively kind of a Glimmer thing because she took the time to learn it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
thought
at
it
least how to
was
understand
both of yous would have to roll for aquatic.
Well, what we were doing was that it would be you guys were trying to learn human.
Yeah, and I thought because we were both and I thought that yous two were having to do an intelligence check to see how much aquatic y'all understood because I'm over here blinking them and shit.
You know, I think then in that case, yes, I think we did mention that. Oh yeah, we did. So
Yeah,
specifically
congratulations.
for Frosted Pine and Frosted Pine in general would roll for both, I believe.
Yeah, Frosted
Aquatic
Pine
and
would be the only one who gets to roll twice, once for human, once for aquatic. Because you already know human, so you don't have to worry about that. And, well, Isopod already knows aquatic, so they don't have to roll for that. So both of you only really get one. It's Frosted Pine who gets 2.
Okay, so the human understanding roll is already gone, I believe. So now it's aquatic.
Yeah. See how much aquatic
Give it
you've
a roll.
picked up at this
for the
point.
aquatic.
21.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So now we all.
Yeah, you've picked up roughly about as much as Glimmer has for aquatic.
Probably having gotten some tidbits from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now you
I
know
can't understand
roughly
how humans, but I can understand aquatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easier, right?
Oh man, these humans and their yip yap yabbies end up being really hard to understand.
Yeah, they squeak too much. Why are we in the dark?
It's the middle of the night. You are
I knew that.
over here.
I am here.
Yes. So, what is it that you guys are doing now? You have a prisoner. Glimmer, you have technically 2 prisoners.
I do, in fact, have 2 prisoners, yes.
Wait, who's the second one?
That's not for you to know.
Okay.
Well, you did end up hearing Elm say, yes, Warden, to Glimmer at one point, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll come clean over the table here. Yes, I did, in fact, take this person prisoner, and no, I will not elaborate.
I was probably being like, don't talk to your mother like that. Wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
What do you mean? Glimmer's just gonna look around a bit and just quickly say, "You guys notice the rocks on the ground here? Like somebody's placed them in a very specific pattern in the grass. What's that? What's that about?"
The assassin kind of looks over at you a little bit. Are you talking about the gravestones?
No, the tiny little rocks, like the little tiny ones.
Oh, you talking about all of these random ones? Yeah,
Yeah, they're all. It's just.
we call them tiles. They're used in order to create a repetitive, scenery look. So that way, people playing games like Dungeons and Dragons have an easier time setting things up.
It almost dying like caused some brain damage or something. I don't understand what you're talking about.
What is Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm a dragon. Do we have to go to a dungeon?
Are you talking? You're weird. You're a weird thing. You know that.
Yeah, get that lot.
Yeah. So from the sounds of it, this isn't just from nearly dying. You just have problems. Got it. All right.
Well, should we knock this one out and head back to camp?
Why? What are they gonna? What's this guy gonna do if we just pick him up?
There's always a chance they could memorize things, even in the dark.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people would believe him.
Look, there's a reason I'm an assassin. I don't exactly talk to too many people.
you're really not
That
helping
checks
the
out.
case that you're a weirdo.
Look, I mean,
All right. Look,
are we going like rest for the night? For the rest of this night, are we gonna get some sleep, or are we just gonna end up going straight to the, to the castle?
we should probably head back. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give me 1 second here. I'm gonna check something.
You flipping through your notebook? You got a diary I can read or something?
If you tried to read it, you might have some problems. First off, this book would crush you. Anyway, I have a. I'm sorry, guys. I'm struggling here. Okay.
Right. Well, while he's doing that, other dragon with the 4 wings. What am I supposed to call you?
Well, my name's Isopod, so I would reckon that.
All right. So
And
so
I'm Glimmer, and I'm not a guy.
you know what? You aren't any dragons like I've ever seen. So it's hard to tell
Yeah.
any sort of difference.
Yeah. To be fair, it is subtle most times.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're gonna hike up your skirt, I ain't gonna know. So I'm just gonna
What's a skirt?
Oh, right, dragons. So isopod. What exactly? What's the deal here? I was sent on this, errand. I was given a message. What's even going on?
Huh?
Right, so you don't know either. Other large, one. What about you?
My name is Frosted Pine, and I suspect that you were sent here to give us this message about going to the castle because of the fact that it is likely known by the king at this point that the dragon that is similar to Isopod is Isopod's wife.
Right. So this whole thing is all about love. That's the whole reason I'm here. Well, it's just the worst mission I think I've ever been on.
Well,
I mean, hey, if you want to be our
Isopod's
friend, you
part.
could. I'm sorry.
Well, on Isopod's part, partially, but for Glimmer and I is like we still have the King can add us to whatever sick collection he's trying to build. And then of course there's at least one human here with personal reasons.
So it's a
And
mishmash.
yes.
Right. Righto. Well, how about we go get some rest? Because none of you seem to quite have any particular things to say that's useful at the moment, it seems.
Well, sorry, I'm just gonna take a moment, and I need to handle something. Be right back.
Yep.
I vote going back to the camp, or at least somewhere near it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Lead the way.
Mm, hmm. I guess Isopod's gonna pick him up, be like, you can't see where we're going.
Great. Blindfold. Alright, well, I'm used to it. Fine. Go ahead, blindfold.
Alright, he finds a bit of fabric, I guess, and just puts it on.
just takes the mask that he's wearing and just pulls it over his eyes.
Yeah, let's go with that. He's kind of awkwardly doing it.
Yep. And with that, you will start heading back, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back, by the way.
Alrighty. Let me set the scene real quick. You guys can talk while you're on your way. Let's turn the fog multiplier
So,
down.
just for a little bit of out of character talk, one of the things that Isopod got that we're looking forward to using potentially, is the spell Wall of Stone.
It's funny you should mention that because I mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, well, I wasn't here, so you know.
Yeah, I mentioned it when you weren't here.
Thanks for catching me up on that.
You're
But yeah,
welcome.
for me, the reason I really mentioned it is because I've seen it used to great effect in many scenarios, honestly. It's a pretty damn good spell, in my opinion.
As for Frostbite, she's now sitting at 120, a maximum HP of 121.
Sometimes, sometimes I have a hard time understanding you because you talk so fast. But I understood what you said there. Like, coming from me in a place where people speak so fast that people from other states think we're on drugs or something. It's a little crazy to me.
Mhm.
Welcome to camp, I say to no one, because I'm nobody here. I'm Glimmer. Haha.
Indeed.
Well, I'm gonna have Glimmer come over to the fire.
Oh my gosh, I'm not getting inked all over the place. This is amazing.
Stability!
it's
Stability!
a good computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good too. I see, you know.
Yeah, and nothing is lagging, so I just see the
Let's go ahead and bring all of your characters here who you abandon.
Yeah, Glimmer just kind of leaves Elden to their own devices.
I just forget they exist.
Yeah.
So you all get back to camp. He kind of looks around. Oh, looks like it's a nice little area after you've taken the blindfold off at this point. So,
Yeah.
where do I sleep?
If you were gonna sleep at all, it's probably gonna be on the ground.
I suppose I see a couple cots out there. Do I get a tent, or am I just out in the open?
If you behave, you can have a tent.
Great.
And if you don't, you'll be sleeping underneath someone's tail,
Am I gonna...
way down.
Phenomenal. Glad to hear it, big grumpy one. I'm assuming that the tents are generally y'all's, so I'd be, tied up and shackled alongside of one of y'all's legs.
I can sleep outside. I don't care.
Oh, phenomenal. So I'll be tied up and shackled to the tent post, I guess.
That and about 50 pounds of stone.
Oh, well, you are the dragons. You're a bit stronger than I suppose you'd be able to, place it there without too much hassle.
Yeah. I can lift a lot more than that.
No, phenomenal. I'm unfamiliar with how you dragons work, so, I didn't exactly grow up around, your types of dragons. I've seen some of the others, but I didn't grow up around them either.
So where do you fit in all this?
Fits how exactly? Mainly, kill people for work.
Why?
I'm an assassin.
Say that again.
I'm an assassin.
But why? What led you to be that way?
Not much money, orphan on the streets. I learned to kill or be killed. Just kind of went with the whole job in the process.
Yeah.
Your friend
wonder.
has unusual abilities to be bright when they want.
Yeah, I've noticed that. What's going on there?
Over the table, I was just messing around a little bit.
Learning a few of the controls. Learning that
Yeah,
you
now that I
can
have an
right-click
actual
and
computer.
enable a torch.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
right-click on your character, there's an enable torch button.
I just press and hold right
my
click,
gosh.
it works for me.
Yeah.
Oh, this can be him doing aquatic.
Oh, that's clever. You could definitely do aquatic that way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a few things. You can enable a torch. You could do statuses like knockdown. You could do emotes. Oh! Or wiggle. Or twirl.
Wiggle.
Let's just say for this particular situation, Isopod accidentally made this chunk of coral glow brightly instead of something else.
Yeah, there we go.
He's like, no, wait, no, I don't want that.
Right, well, it's been a long day. Everybody's stressed. We've all more or less been at each other's throats, almost killing one another. Why don't we go get some sleep?
Isopod kind of glares at him. You threatened to kill someone.
Hey, look, I didn't threaten them. It was just a suggestion.
A suggestion that their life should end?
No,
And
that you shouldn't hurt
That
me.
person was my human.
Oh, so you do own people.
No.
Anyways, is this your tent?
So what was that?
Anyways, is this your tent?
Yes, actually.
Phenomenal.
I'm gonna quickly view my inventory. I've got a lot of rope. A lot of it. Let's just put it this way. Would 30 feet of rope for a human be a lot bigger than that? If it was like dragon-sized
yes.
rope?
Well, I mean, it's still 30 feet of rope. But for dragons to be able to, hang from and whatnot, it's a lot stronger.
Sweet. Glimmer is
So
going to take this
you just
and
tie
tie this guy up, and then at the end of it, it's going to be a neat little bow.
just a nice little bow. Right.
Yeah,
Well,
with some heavy rocks at the legs.
I've had
Oh.
more comfortable positions to sleep, but I've also had less comfortable positions to sleep. This will work just fine. Why don't you all get a good night's rest?
No.
Are we gonna
We're
take
taking
shifts? Yeah.
Yes, I was just saying that. We're taking shifts. Congrats. I have you first.
Phenomenal.
Oh, no.
We can talk.
Elm, get over here.
You can control the character too.
I know,
I'd
I'm
go
just making
easy.
you
Good
work.
night.
Making you work.
Good night. Just upside down. Good night.
Wait, what?
It's just.
I
I didn't see it. I was zoomed in.
said I'd go easy. Good night.
And is upside
Yep.
down if you look at their character model.
I see it. That's great.
So
It just flip.
you guys take
That's
shifts watching your new prisoner, and everybody gets some sleep.
Yeah. Do we need to make any rolls for that, or do you think we're sufficient enough?
You'll be sufficient enough. You don't gotta worry about it. Nobody's gonna end up coming, and you're just watching this guy.
Fair.
He does end up talking to each of you generally throughout the night. We'll, if you want, we can end up going through that a little bit. Otherwise, we can skip to the morning.
Well, I suppose that would matter, actually. Could I make a roll to see if I can pull little bits of information about what kind of stuff he does?
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I rolled a 20.
Perfect.
Dirty 20.
So, what do you talk about? And I'll give you a little information.
So ultimately, I guess kind of spinning it a different way. Like, what sort of things do we expect of where we're going? Because obviously Glimmer's new to the area, you know?
Well, it's few days travel out, not too far to the kingdom. Although that is on horseback. It's probably maybe a day if you're gonna be flying. So, he lives in a more of a mansion than a castle or anything. There's a castle surrounding it, but he has like this mansion on the inside in particular where he likes to stay. Plenty of guards. That's about all I know. Haven't really been inside all that much.
Give me 1 second, please.
Do either of you two want to end up talking or asking about anything in particular?
I'm gonna be totally honest. I got interrupted for like the past 30 seconds. I didn't catch the last bits.
Oh, okay, I got you. He ended up saying, well, he lives more in a mansion than a castle. There's a castle surrounding it, but he, more of a mansion on the inside. Other than that, he has a bunch of guards in there. Haven't really been inside all that much myself. Also, I just remembered his accent, so even though I've been using this one this whole time, I'm gonna go back to his original accent. So don't be thrown off by it.
There will be in-game consequences.
There is now in-game consequences. All of you look closely. Are you the same person? You're a shapeshifter, aren't you?
Oh, I have a spell for that.
Wait a minute, do you actually talk like that? Or is that like some kind of cover?
No, it's just the way I end up talking all the time whenever I end up, trying to throw people off of my abilities.
I suppose having different mannerisms would be enough to also pass as different people.
Well, in the life of an assassin, it definitely is a lot
Yeah.
easier if you end up doing it like that.
Frostbite isn't going to really ask him anything, just going to keep watch and just give an air that makes it obvious that she does not like this assassin for taking Moss hostage.
Fair enough. So you don't really talk to the assassin during your shift?
Whenever he just starts talking, just a silent glare.
Just glaring all night. What about you, Isopod? Do you end up talking to the assassin at all during your time?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I forgot to say words. There was something I wanted to ask him about, but I forgot what it was. I don't. Why did I forget so hard?
The life of a D&D player. I have an idea. Oh, man.
I lost
It's
my
simple.
idea.
If you forget hard, remember harder. Do I sound good still, by the way? I had to readjust.
Yep, sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying, so I guess I'm actually just gonna chatter when he talks first. But, like, not really starting any conversation.
Oh, I see. You like more of the small talk. Well, how's the weather?
It's weather.
It is indeed. Yeah, it's a bit more dry than I end up liking out here, but it's not the worst in the world. What about the fire?
Yeah.
How'd you get that fire going over there? Am I doing good small talk? You like the small talk, yeah? And he puts his hands, which he barely has any like motion over. He gives 2 little thumbs up.
You are a very odd individual.
Well, I'm the old one, right? Because I don't end up coming from a land with a whole bunch of different types of dragons that aren't, even remotely the same at all. I come from a land that ends up being, more humans than it is dragons, where the dragons end up serving the humans and not the other way around. I'm the weird one. That's right.
Humans don't serve dragons. We just live alongside one another.
Yeah, that's not weird at all.
I mean, from our perspective, it's very strange that dragons are subservient here.
Right. And other than that, that's the end of the night. It'll end up getting into the morning.
Wait, I'm gonna make sure that everything is restored as far as long resting.
Ooh.
Yep, everybody get your long rest in. And with that, it is now officially the morning. He's kind of like dozing slightly, but otherwise, all of your other scavengers are just fine.
Yay, well rested.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, at this time, I suppose we should update the people in the camp that aren't us about what's been happening with this situation and get, Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
I see you had
I would
plans.
say it's... Yep.
Where is the sun?
What sun?
It's in that direction.
Why is it not above the horizon yet?
Because it's the very early morning. I could put it straight up in the middle if you want it midday.
Raise it a teeny little bit. I want to be like a little brighter.
A little bright. How was that? Is that a good bright for you? It was early morning, but now you've wasted a little bit more time. It'll take a while longer for you to get to your destination.
Oh, I was mostly worried about the lighting. I couldn't see anything.
Glimmer can't see in the dark.
Glimmer lost their night vision.
They have slightly better night vision than the average dragon.
Clearly, Icebot has better night vision.
Actually, yes. Sea Wings do have night vision.
Oh, yeah, he's half sea.
Yeah, Sea Wings have dark vision.
Meanwhile, Frosted Pine. Can't see goddamn shit. Shit in the dark.
I see plants. I
Just-
don't see anything else. Sword, on the other hand,
Bonk.
sees dead people.
I see
Okay.
plants and I see ice. And snow.
So, Poison and Joy end up making their way back, and they see you guys. And Joy will kind of pipe up first. So you ended up going and seeing the graveyard then?
Yeah. And we got this guy. I'm gonna just shake him around a little bit. Got this guy here.
he wakes up a little bit as you shake him. Oh, I'm awake, I swear. Wasn't asleep.
Yeah. Some assassin dude who I don't think I even got the name of, gave us a message from the wonderful leader of these lands.
Can you believe that they end up calling me an assassin of all things? They picked me up randomly. I was just out on the streets, causing, no sorts of mayhem.
Listen.
Isopod kind of like smacks the ground with his tail. You know what you did.
Look,
Listen
goodness.
here, you little shit.
I oof, can't take a single joke, not a single one of you.
No.
Poison kind of comes up. Right. Well, we should do something about that. We have a prison of sorts. It's more of a tent than any iron bars, but we can take care of him.
Yeah.
Weren't we supposed to take him with us?
We are.
Oh,
Okay.
where are you going?
Well, I'm gonna relay the message proper.
Yeah, give the whole speech on the emperor, inviting you guys to a banquet. Mantis is gonna be there, and it'll be water under the bridge. You just need to come and, get the other side of the story and whatnot. Don't just automatically, side with the rebels and whatnot.
Well, I do have orders to attempt diplomacy, but what do you think? Just asking everyone.
Mm.
And no opinion was given.
I think it would be best just to keep this one log with us, just in case.
I'm sure if we didn't show up with him, we'd probably get hunted down anyways.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that if it's their wife that's in there, then it might be good to go at least see things. Especially if he's given his guarantee that you'll be all safe, so long as you don't do anything.
Nah, where I'm from, guaranteed didn't mean anything a while ago.
Well,
Recently, maybe.
hopefully the Emperor keeps his word. I would keep an eye out if I were all of you. And you hear Joy kind of pipe up. Yes, do come back. Having more like me is nice.
Yeah, can't imagine how lonely it might get.
I'm only one of two on this side of the war.
One of two? There's another?
Me and my mate are the only ones on this side of the war.
Well, at least you got somebody.
Having friends is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, friends are nice.
I agree.
The assassin sighs. Oh goodness, why don't you all end up just getting a room?
I could dig
I
a
spot
hole and
rolls
put you
dice.
in it if you want.
I would much prefer getting a hole than this. You end up seeing Elm kind of like pull out her dagger. Please,
No.
Warden, please.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Just an ear. He doesn't need to.
Oh my god.
I mean, trim a little hair off.
Like,
Just trim a little bit of hair off. That's all. A little bit.
oh my gosh.
Just a little bit. And you see she takes her knife and gets a lot of it. He's lost like half of the upper hair he has on his head.
Spy kind of just pinches the bridge of his nose. Oh my gosh.
The
Nah.
the assassin just kind of shrugs a little bit. Well, guess I could always go bold again.
I mean, I don't know. You look a little better like that, actually.
You think? Maybe I should end up going on a fashion runway.
Whatever that is, it sounds fun.
Phenomenal. We should get going. Y'all are taking
We really
forever.
should. We really should, yeah. Let's just say you had an accident, and, yeah.
Alright. Who's gonna carry him?
Guess I'll do it.
I
Okay.
don't want him anywhere near Moss.
I don't blame you.
Spot was ready to also carry him if he was told.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I don't know about that, Isopod.
Yeah, I'll take whoever I can end up getting, but I would prefer to stay away from the one who tried to end up killing me. And I highly doubt the one who's going to, who I almost ended up, well, not almost, not really. I just held a knife up to the neck, didn't really do much else. But they definitely wouldn't want me
Okay,
to.
we're going.
Yeah.
In my profession, threatening someone is the same thing as wanting to do it.
And with that, Glimmer ends up carrying the assassin, and you all begin your rather long flight towards the Emperor's mansion, as he ended up saying. Let me go ahead and get over to. Oh, I didn't name it. Of course, I didn't.
Oh no.
I will
Oh no, it's the nameless place.
It's the
The nameless place.
Where are they? There they are. I will go ahead and spawn everyone over here.
Oh.
Summon,
Oh.
and let me get rid of the fog. Let me go ahead and put it to midday, as bright as it'll get. Actually, it'll be closer towards sunset at this point. And we are going to go ahead and city night, and we are going to put it on to. There we go. Oh, that's a modern. That's car horns. That's not what I want. We're not in modern day. There we go.
We wait a few thousand years, we might be.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. This is so much better than before.
I'm glad you think
I can
so.
actually, yeah, I can actually move without getting yanked across the map.
There are people erupting from the sky.
Isopod.
Yeah.
Moss.
You.
Sword.
Hi.
Did I already pull out Elm? I did already pull out Elm. Elm's right there. There we go. Alright. There you all are. And I need to resummon the assassin for you guys. There we go.
Yes.
I'm gonna basically have Elm walking directly behind the assassin at all times.
Okay. And if you want to select multiple people, you can left click on the ground and you could draw and be able to select multiple people at once.
Yes.
There you go. Let's go ahead and put moss there. Let's go ahead and put sword there. All right, you are officially at the castle. It takes you a long time to get here, and the sun is beginning to set as you finally end up arriving. And you see there are 2 guards currently waiting outside of the doors. And the assassin kind of points, right, well, held up my end of the bargain. Door's right there. Am I free to go?
Hmm. What does everyone else think? Yes?
I would wait for a little bit.
Let's get to the door first, and then you can go.
All right,
I
how about
agree.
I open the door, I introduce you, and then I walk?
Sure. Ever pull a knife
Phenomenal.
on us again, you'll wish you were dead.
I'll only end up doing that if you're not looking, so don't worry too much about that. And with that, he begins making his way to the door with a lot of you.
Yeah, I
The
don't know what's
guards.
up, but like I can't select her to sword at the same time. I can't
Like,
select left click on the ground and then do the thing. And
Yeah.
it's not doing it.
Here, I can get you
Oh, there
both,
it
or
is.
I can do sword. I can do sword.
Okay. Yeah, I can't move sword at all, honestly. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, if whenever you move like that, it only moves one character at a time. It's
Yeah,
dragging.
well, like, yeah, I also can't drag sword. I can't use sword. I can't get sword at all, basically.
Okay,
Mm.
so if you click and drag across the ground, does it make a selection area?
Yes, and I did
And if
it.
you drag that over both your characters, it doesn't do
It would
that?
not work. It did not do it.
Mm.
Alright.
Might be
It's
the
fine.
system. It is still in beta, so it might just be the system on your end.
Maybe.
Anyways, so you make it over to the doors. The guards at the front kind of look at the lot of you. They would ask if you're the dragons who are supposed to be here, but they've never seen your dragons types before, so they just assume it's definitely you guys.
Just we got an invitation.
Yeah, the invitation was very pointed.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. I will now proceed to enter the building. Glimmer is very much keeping an eye on her surroundings. Very much so. Is that a fucking dragon?
It's fair dragons.
Isopod, you instantly recognize the dragon that's on the right.
What?
The flash. I love the flash so much. They would flash back, but they can't.
maybe
He's
maybe a
happy.
little little flutter of the wings or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we go. Here we go.
Wiggles.
I must also wiggles, but also whoa.
Whoa! Whoa! Yay!
Wahoo!
Anyways, as you get in, Isopod, you do instantly recognize the dragon on the right. That is Mantis, and you do see that Mantis, unlike normal, is currently wearing what looks to be a collar of some sort. It has what some writing that you can't quite understand. Glimmer, you kind of understand it a bit more, although it's still a little unusual. It's got what you would look like ruins, but they're more written in the human language, although they are strange, kind of how they're made overall. They're a bit more in our real world terms, more like cursive. Like they are made in a more fanciful type of way than anything else. You can somewhat recognize the majority of them, but others are just so strange and foreign to you, it's hard to tell. and they do glow ever so faintly.
Well,
But
that's certainly magic.
the
I'm saying that
man
to myself.
the man standing before you, not actually on a chair, is what you can only assume to be the emperor. And then the one on the far left is another one of those iron wings from their tribe that you can understand. And they seem to be accompanied by this sorcerer person in the back who is wearing a similar outfit to the one that you ended up seeing in the prison whenever you first broke out sword. It looks like they have different outfits for the different types of sort of jobs that they have. The Emperor looks at the lot of you as the assassin steps forward and kind of mediates between the lot of you. Alrighty then, introductions are in order. Everybody, if you would please go ahead and bow to your... And you see the Emperor just immediately kind of throw his hand out and cut him off. Shut up. I know who they are, and I'm sure they understand who I am. Leave.
Isopod can't help but just stifle a slight laugh at the shut up. Like,
Glimmer, on the other hand, looked ready to fucking kill this guy for even suggesting that she bow down to anyone else other than her queen.
Frostbite is just going to sort of snort and isn't really paying attention to any of the humans. She's just staring over at the Iron Wing, trying to just looking to see, just trying to determine
just open.
if that's one of the ones that they've been told about, where they're lighter and faster.
Yeah, the the Emperor gets out before I end up having you either imprisoned or executed on the spot. And then do you see the assassin just kind of look over? Right, your highness, I'll be out of here, and I'll see you again later. And he starts heading out.
Isopod just watches.
So, it's nice meeting you in person, Your Highness.
Likewise. I am very interested in seeing more dragons that I've never seen before. Only ended up seeing 2 in my whole lifetime that are of any interest. These ones, as he motions to his right, the ones who are our main dragon god. And then, of course, as he motions over to his left towards Mantis, this one who appeared suddenly out of nowhere. Now, and he finally motions to the lot of you, you 3. Very, very different. Before we get into any deeper conversations, please allow me the ability to grant you all a banquet, a feast. I'm sure you haven't eaten properly since arriving on my lands. I'll give you all the choice. We can eat inside or outside. I already have 2 tables prepared full of food.
Well, suppose outside wouldn't be so bad. I don't like being inside.
It would be a lot less claustrophobic outside.
Yeah.
Very well. If you head back outside those doors, you can very easily fly up there, or you can follow me and my guards up the stairs till we reach it.
I have a few questions, but we'll get to that in a moment. Can Mantis come with us as we make our way up there, or
I'm perfectly fine if she goes along. She knows she can't leave these grounds anyways.
What does that mean?
The collar keeps her here so long as I will it.
And what right
Isopod
do you,
bristles.
what right do you have to make such a claim?
Well, I am the emperor here after all. Not to mention that should she end up going out on her own, who's not to say many people won't try and kill her, or even the dragons for that matter on my side. They are quite protective of their owners. If they even get a hint at this point that there might even be the chance of them doing their owner any harm, they would attack immediately on sight.
Hmm.
It's more for protection than anything else. I trust she wouldn't leave. Not whenever there's basically nowhere to get food out there in the first place.
Fair enough. Glimmer is going to beckon Mantis over. We'll meet you up at the top.
Alright.
Wolf returned.
So, do y'all head back outside to fly up there, or do you want to end up heading up the stairs and follow along?
Outside we go to
Outside
fly
we
up.
go. Bonk. Ow. Forgot how doors work. I'm kidding.
What are doors? And
I have-
after they're all out, Isopod turns into hugs Mantis.
I'm going
Mantis?
to, since I have a free moment, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Oh yeah, there is a ton of magic here. Although there is also the one specifically around the collar.
Mm. Can I tell how complicated it might be based on what I'm seeing or no? If I have to roll for it, I will.
For how complicated it is?
It's effectively like is it like forget it. I don't. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Ultimately, just confirming that it even exists is more than enough.
Yeah.
I'm going to privately communicate to Isopod. One moment. Okay, we're good to head upstairs. Up the wall. How do I rise? Control.
What is rising? Control?
Yes,
Nope.
hold control and just scroll up. I'm gonna plop right on the table by accident.
Woo!
Oh. Hey. Oh, up there.
Yeah. Recommendation. How do I rotate?
Rotate.
Rotate is Alt.
Oh. Got it.
It's over here.
Yeah, recommendation. Seat Mantis at the back corner.
Mm-hmm. And where'd she go?
Oh, it appears that Mantis has some semblance of functional movement. I'm gonna actually seat Glimmer over here.
I'm just slowly setting everybody up real quick. Oh, that's the assassin. The assassin doesn't need to be here. Get out of here, assassin.
He tried to sneak in for some free food and he got
He's like,
punted off
I
the roof.
wanted some food. All right,
He's
Glimmer.
stuck.
They will sit next to you. I guess they'll sit over here. So that way, Sword can sit next to you. Oh, you're actually right there. So we'll sit you across. And then, do you want to sit? Moss will just stand next to you. Moss doesn't want to sit. Eventually, the Emperor ends up making his way outside of those doors right there, and we'll just leave him open to kind of show where he came out of. And everybody kind of takes their seat and whatnot. There's one extra seat that was left there purposefully for Moss, but Moss doesn't want to sit next to anybody else that she doesn't know, so she'll stand.
Frostbite is just going to sort of curl her tail around Moss, all while still watching the Iron Wing out from the corner of her eye.
Mm-hmm. And the Emperor will look amongst all of you. Please, feel free to dig in. This is for all of you. We have much to talk about, and I'm sure it will be better over full stomachs than empty ones. I know I tend to be a bit snippy, to say the least, when I'm hungry.
Glimmer still has detect magic active, I assume.
Mm.
Is there anything noticeable magically about this food?
Nothing in the food themselves, although you do see that there seems to be some form of magical enchantment on all of the goblets that you end up having. If you end up watching closely, you watch as the king ends up taking his own, which also has that same magic, and drinks a little bit from it before he ends up setting it back down. And as he sets it back on the table, you notice that this pitcher right here with the wine in it actually goes down ever so slightly as his cup also begins to refill by the same amount.
Interesting. What kind of magic is that?
More recently, we have found that some of our own people apparently have this ability to do certain things. And they've been practicing as of recently in order to control it. This is one of the things they've been able to manage so far. My own personal, as he motions over to the man sitting right here. Servant, my own guard, court magician, we'll call him. Is it the one who made this for me?
It is interesting. What other sorts of things have you done with this magic?
A few things here or there. Not all of it has been from my own magicians. Some of it, more or less, has come about in other means and methods. I shan't hide anything from my own guests. Ask away, after all. I would like to brush off the misunderstanding that we've all seemed to have gotten as of recent.
Well, certainly does concern us to have shown up here, and we find that one of our own is here, unable to leave, wearing an enchanted collar of all things. We have history where we're from of dragons with magic doing terrible, terrible things and claiming it's for the greater good.
Do you now? Well, I am very sad to end up hearing such things.
Yes, and one in particular would put a number of paltry tricks like that picture to shame. In fact, I wonder as to how it is that your kind suddenly came about having magic. Quite interesting that it would suddenly happen.
Yes, it seemed to have started happening not too long ago. Maybe 3, 4 years ago. That these abilities seem to start sprouting out of nowhere. And while I cannot divulge exactly how it came about, for I do not entirely know, I know it appeared around the same time that everybody started hearing the music in the air.
Yes, well, I have a bit of a question for you.
Feel free, my friend.
Glimmer's going to sit up a little. Everybody would notice she hasn't even touched her food at all. She's been nervously tapping. Well, see, right now, I have a problem. Do you have any idea where this music is coming from?
You see, he leans back and he thinks a small bit. You don't even need to roll insight. You can tell that he knows, but he's debating whether he should actually tell you or not as to
See, here's
where he knows the music is coming from.
here's the thing. I know somewhere around here, I can feel it, and I'm wondering if it has anything to do with what's happening back home. See, my queen is dying, and we don't know why. So, if you know anything, please tell us. Tell me.
Mm. I'll tell you what. Let us make a deal of sorts. I won't sugarcoat it. Our lands, while they are great, and while my people end up living pretty good and decent lives out here, it's slowly turning into a desert or a frozen wasteland. There's not a lot currently growing here. In short, our land is dying since this music began. These songs of chaos have begun to kill this island, this continent. And we need somewhere to go.
Hmm.
However, I'm not about to end up giving up my own throne and my own kingdom. So, with that being said, is there unclaimed territory in yours that would be willing to give up for my own people?
I
I
would.
Icepod is not liking the words, but he's kind of just acting as anxious as he has been, which is kind of on par for him.
Well, I would say that when it comes to kingdom that I am from, and the neighboring kingdoms, it'll be quite difficult to find space for you.
Given the fact that you have this newfound magic and something terrible is happening to your land, the two are most certainly connected. And from what I can tell, you know more than you're saying. There's nothing I can do if I don't know everything that you do. Maybe we can fix the problem, make the island better than it ever was. It appears that one of our players is temporarily stepping away.
Hmm. Well. Alright. He kind of nods a small little bit. I do know a little bit, but I don't know everything. I don't understand everything. Our land was perfectly peaceful for a while. Perfectly at ease, I should say. Nothing wrong, but once the music started, things went wrong. I tried to have everything we could manage to stop said music, but it didn't stop, no matter what we tried. I can't show you where this is at, as this is one of the highest secrets that exist here. But I can assure you that I've done everything I can to stop it, and it won't.
Everything?
We've tried fire, axes, swords, spears, anvils, and hammers. We've tried feeding it to some of the dragons themselves.
It?
Not
It would.
a music box.
Music box?
A music box
Music.
created by, well, I suppose I can't divulge that, but created for a specific purpose that we don't know. It played constantly, once every single day at the beginning of the day, in fact. But it's never done anything, not until 5 years ago. Isopod, you remember 5 years ago is roughly whenever you started to get your abilities to end up using your animus magic for the first time.
I was Pud's kind of quiet, looking down at his talons, as if in thought.
Well, if you want to solve this problem, maybe you should start telling us about this dragon that you're not telling us about.
So, you know about the dragon then? I'm assuming it's from that one over there, the traitor, as he motions towards Sword, who is still silent at this point, not talking, although they seem to have gotten over, at least in part, what it is that they were dealing with at the graveyard.
Well, that and what I've found, I have reason to believe what was seen.
Mm.
I can't sit here and accuse you of doing things without knowing for sure if you've done anything, but without.
Would
Oh,
you
go ahead,
like
sorry.
would you like to roll a persuasion check to see if you can get
Oh.
him to divulge a little bit?
Most certainly. In fact, give me a moment. I am going to check something. Hmm. Sorry, I'm trying to read something. And you said persuasion, yes?
Yes.
Okay, I will do that. That is a 21.
21.
Oh.
You see the king deep in thought a little bit. Very well. I will tell you some of the information that I know, but only under one condition. And you see he kind of looks over to the guard on his right and kind of nods a little bit. The guard kind of turns around and heads back before he ends up returning with someone else.
Hmm.
This here is a prisoner, as you can likely tell given the shackles around his hands. He ended up doing something that is considered illegal. In fact, something similar to your friend's sword there. Execute him, and I'll tell you everything you want to know. After all, he's already set to die anyways.
You want us to kill your prisoner?
You and your friends already ended up killing some of my gods. A life for a life, it's only fair.
Frost finds
Wow.
way to take our attention away from the Iron Wing and look over at Sword, just sort of your questioning look as to whether or not she thinks it would be a good idea.
Looking to Sword.
Yeah.
Sword kind of looks around a little bit. It's likely he's going to be executed either way, whether it's by your hands or his own. At least this way you get some information. And if what Glimmer said is true about his queen dying, the faster he gets the information, the better.
Before we do anything like that, the final nail in the coffin as to whether we decide to do this or not. Mantis, how have you been treated? And do be honest. Now, it's at this exact point in time where Glimmer is trying to be as subtle as possible as far as casting Zone of Truth,
Mm-hmm.
just to try and potentially force past any potential problems.
Yeah, I'm guessing around Mantis specifically.
Yes, just
All right, and I believe that
more
is
of a
30 feet, or is it 15
is
feet?
60 feet in fact.
60 feet.
The radius of it is 15 feet. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I would cast it in such a way that it would not affect anyone else. But I
Yep.
mean, honestly, if I'm
Perfect.
trying to be subtle, I can't be picky. So
I
it's up to
mean,
you.
worst comes to worst, it hits Sword as well, which isn't really, it doesn't matter too much on that. Otherwise, Isopod, I see you've ended up going over towards the prisoner.
Yeah.
Just getting a good look, or
Yeah, I'm just getting a look.
okay,
I'll look at them close.
okay. In that case, Mantis will kind of nod a small little bit. I haven't been treated the worst as of yet. I have had 3 square meals a day. I have been asked many a questions, including if I'm similar to what this other dragon is apparently capable of. But otherwise, I've had no harm come to me. The closest that I've had is trying to leave with this collar on, and a bit of a shock.
Interesting. Well,
Isopod is very unhappy with the shock collar.
I
Isopod
don't.
will remember that.
Just the Telltale series. Isopod will remember that.
Yeah.
indeed. Well, get that collar off Mantis, and then if any of us has any objections, say them now. But I think we can move forward. Won't have any of our people treated like an animal. It's not how we work.
I will return Mantis once I am assured there will be no more problems amongst my kingdom. And I will return your friend, the one married to Isopod here, once I am also assured that we will have safe harbor, land, and passage into your kingdom.
We've had. Oh,
Angry
subtle
flashing.
Angry flashing. Angie. I'm Angie.
Well, with the full authority of my kingdom, I can safely say there most likely will not be anyone willing to take an entire people. We've had many, many problems like this. My own tribe of dragons, for one, we're ruled by another, to say the least, because our entire home became a volcanic wasteland. She seems to have a small shakiness in the bandaged hand paw thing as she says that. And then there's an entire continent that evacuated itself, and they've moved back mostly, but most of us aren't likely to be welcoming. Most. I can't speak for everyone. We've had a fair share of bad things happen.
In terms of places where dragons don't fully occupy lands, there is that second continent that Glimmer mentioned, which they're still working on rebuilding things, and on in terms of the land that 3 of us come from, it is those areas are already occupied by other humans for the most part.
Yes. Not to mention the lifestyle differences.
You hear his fist hit the chair, and he seems to be beating down a bit of anger at the moment as he takes a quick breath. I'm sorry to end up hearing all of your troubles. But this is an entire people that will perish. So, let's not leave things on a bad note here, shall we? There's still the matter of a life for a life. Execute this prisoner, and we can at least leave on a good note before we have more talks with your kings or queens, whatever you may have.
Spy glances over everyone.
Hmm.
It
Well.
likely would be for the best to try and get some information.
All right. He's just gonna. Icepod being literally right here is gonna try to make the death as fast as possible, I guess.
Pinch head and rotate.
Yeah, basically.
Snap
Quickly.
the neck.
Just like a little 2-finger pinch.
You do so. And the king nods a small little bit before he looks over to his god. Good. Make sure that it is finished. Don't want to end up leaving any liabilities just in case. The guard nods, and though you already killed the prisoner, the guard pulls out his sword and, just to be doubly and triply sure, beheads the prisoner as well.
Icepod just gets a look of disgust, but doesn't say anything. Just returns to his seat.
Now, I promised you a little bit more information. The music box was created by that dragon you heard of. We have had that dragon in our possession since the beginning of our history, when we made it to this land, in fact. I don't know all the details, as not everything is written, but to my knowledge, all dragons exist because of that dragon.
There used to be more of your dragons?
From what I've heard, all dragons weren't always like this. Over time, they changed into this. How? I don't understand. I just know that it was that dragon that was the cause and ability for it. However, eventually that dragon was not happy and decided to sleep ever since. And has been asleep, waking up occasionally here or there.
And why did I hear a cry for help? Or who heard that? I don't think it was me.
Icepod heard it.
I
Yep.
suppose. Okay, pretend I didn't say that. You can say it if you like.
Okay. Well, why is it that I heard a cry for help in the song?
Likely because it is still unhappy.
Why would anyone be happy if they're trapped like that? presumably.
I don't know. I know we go down there occasionally to ask it for something here or there, and it makes it happen. But we don't have it locked up. It chooses to sleep down there by itself. Perhaps it's looking for someone, perhaps it misses someone. But it's been down there since the beginning of this island's reign. And that was perhaps 2,000 or so years ago.
Glimmer is going to flinch a little bit. Oh. Very specific.
That's as far as our history dates back. We ran from an island that was burning and made it here. The few dragons that we had along with us became what these are now, all save for that one dragon.
Huh.
Come
Well,
now. Why don't you tell me something now? You have two individuals I've never seen before, and one that I have. I'm curious to hear your side of the story. Everything getting up to here.
talking about the humans, I assume.
Yes.
Well, I suppose Glimmer would probably catch everybody up on a little bit of what happened with Elm, minus the immortality thing.
Okay. And what
I
about
suppose I will. Oops, sorry.
you? How did you come across Sword?
Well, he ends up just kind of going through a quick little story to catch up. Long story short, he mentions that she washed up on a beach and that a younger hivewing found her and turned her over to him.
I see. And finally, you with the one who looks like they're about to burst into tears.
I found I saved moss from the forest fire. There's nothing more for you to know.
Hmm.
And do keep in mind that I will not allow any attempts at laying hands upon her.
Yeah, the messenger you sent attempted to threaten us by picking that one prisoner.
Not surprised. He likes to do dealings at the end of knife point.
Surprisingly efficient. No one likes being
Efficient
threatened.
in getting everyone killed.
Yeah, well, you know.
That as well. Now then, what to do about our situation here? Because it sounds like neither of us are getting the things that it is that we want.
Hmm.
It's at this
I
point the
think
sun is kind of starting to set a little bit more, and it's beginning to get darker.
Yeah.
I believe it is break time.
Oh yeah.
It is indeed. We will
Ooh.
go ahead and take our break here. I actually missed it by about 7 minutes, but that's fine. We'll take our break here, and we will get into one of our stories.
Ooh.
Very well. I will mute.
This story is brought to us by Isopod. It was happening again. Proserpine had been brought along to yet another family gathering, all because her father was obligated to attend, and now they were arguing, as always. Her father arguing with family, calling them out for the rumors they spread, standing up for Frosted's mother, all the while Proserpine hid to avoid attention from the older family members and bullying from her cousins. Meanwhile, her mother Blackwood stood silently, doing her best to appear bored and unbothered. The Icewing Leafwing hybrid dragonette never could understand how her mother could be so calm in these situations, just ignoring the family's comments and not letting them bother her. Ridiculous that she would fall for someone who almost has scales like a nightwing. Grandmother always seemed to point out the scales. Proserpine's own scales were dark, such a deep green that they were almost black. But her mother's was even darker. Frosted had yet to see a nightwing, but she could only assume that a number of icewings had a hatred for them. You could have at least gone with that sandwing who had approached your father and I about you. Would have been such a perfect opportunity for diplomatic aspects. And I don't give a damn about the politic aspects. And we've been over this so many times, Mother. Icicle, Frostopine's father, was getting quite worked up at this point. He'd been trying so hard to calm things, but now he was just angry. Blackwood is a leafwing, not a nightwing. And you all understand that, you idiotic. Frosted's aunt slipped between Icicle and grandmother, her silky voice condescending and even in tone. Calm down. You know how things are. Not all of our tribe is over our history with the Nightwings. So having someone who looks even slightly like one, that's such an uncomfortable position you've placed us all in. Now, as for your brat, Frosted's aunt ignored the enraged look that Icicle gave her, and didn't seem to notice the initially calm Blackwood stiffen. It's such a shame that you've been trapped by her coming along. And really, she's pathetic. To think a hybrid freak like her would be How dare you? How dare you? The sudden yelling and roar from Blackwood seemed to drown out any other noise in the hall the gathering was held. All other dragons went silent, staring wide-eyed. I can take insults towards myself. I can take being talked poorly of, because I can rise above what you say and be better than such disrespectful dragons. I could handle it, because my husband refuses to just let it go without argument. But Blackwood stepped towards the aunt, continuing to move forward even as the now wide-eyed Icewing backed away. She shouldered the grandmother out of the way, growling at her and other nearby family members. The aunt was soon backed into a wall, with the Leafwing mother glaring like she wanted to see her bleed. And in a room of Icewings, Frostipine could only watch in awe as others averted their eyes, seeming cowardly now that the usually silent, unbothered dragon was now showing a deep fury. There are two things I will not abide by. One, being outright insults towards Icicle. And the one who found me, washed up on shore, who helped me find a footing in this land, who has shown me the love and given me a daughter to share our heart with. And two, before any could react, almost too fast for the eye, Blackwood used her tail to swipe Frosted Pine's aunt's leg out from underneath her, then quickly got over her with her front right talon pinning the ant to the floor, back talons pinning the Icewing's tail, and a Blackwood's left talon holding her jaws shut, is insulting my daughter. The one dragon here undeserving of your hate, undeserving of your criticisms. If you ever think to insult my family again, I will teach you a lesson you won't ever forget. Letting go and stepping away, Blackwood glared at each dragon in the room in turn, a silent challenge given. She was daring any of them to try and say something, but she had shown that she wasn't to be messed with any longer. Her gaze eventually fell from Frosted Pine, who had come from her hiding spot, watching in awe. The sudden feeling of strength faded from around Blackwood as she softened and approached the dragonette, lifting her and placing her on her back, gesturing towards Icicle. The three left the gathering. While they were silent on the way to their home, Frosted Pine replayed the events in her mind again and again. It was hard to believe her mother, always soft, always kind, always silent and unbothered by their family, had the strength and presence to silence so many. She wanted to be that strong, but to use it to be of help to others. And she'd do her best to be that way and to prove their family wrong about herself and about Blackwood. That is the short side story that we have today for everyone.
I am back.
Welcome back.
I was listening. It's a good one. I like it.
Yay.
We had our first story that was isopods. That was very cutesy. We had the second one, which was rather horrific in nature. And with this one, we had a very interesting view of history and more or less how Frosted Pine kind of got the will that they have today. Or not isopod, Frosted Pine.
You
Ooh,
can see
leave.
why.
I need to
See why things happen that way.
put the music back up. Oh no. How could I have let it? What did I have? I think I had this one. Yeah, I did. Turn the music down, turn the ambient volume down. And then I think I had that one. Yep, there we go. There we go.
I have returned now too. We
Welcome back. I just refinished putting the music and background noise on.
thank you.
Also, I'm the game master, not you. How dare you try to steal it from me, Nola?
Haha.
Anyways,
Maybe they
Look at me.
would there.
I am the
Maybe
game
they.
master now.
Yes, I am God now. Maybe wouldn't they have like lighting around here and stuff?
they don't usually come up here, but I can place a few candles.
Maybe just a couple candles on the table. That makes sense.
Candle.
Pretend he's just flashing so that people can see.
Definitely.
And then let's get some extra fancy torches, shall we?
Yes, he had his servants manually drag those out and light them.
That's exactly what happened, and you can't tell me otherwise. And that's the only reason Icepod's got himself flashing.
There we go.
So. Seems we're caught in the middle, huh?
Yes, it does. I have something that I wish that it seems that you are refusing for your kingdom, and it seems I have something you want that I am refusing for not getting what I need in your kingdom.
And yet, the simplest solution would be to let us help. The very least we can do, try to solve the problem before you need the bigger solution. We have plenty of resourcefulness and outside perspective that maybe you need.
How would you propose to help? Whatever it is the music box is doing seems to be the issues here, the songs of chaos that it is making. We have tried to destroy it. Do you think you could?
Maybe destruction isn't the answer. Have you ever tried anything else?
Like what?
Trying to figure out why this dragon is so...
Upset.
Yes.
We speak to it, we talk to it, and it does not appear to want to answer. But perhaps, maybe, you could. Is that what you're getting at?
Maybe. Has anybody else ever heard it call for help?
Not to my knowledge. Least not from face to face. You, as far as I'm aware, would be the first to hear for a cry for help.
I came here expecting much, much worse. I'll be honest. It doesn't have to end anything close to what I was expecting.
I am a man of my word. Even if you rile me up and make me angry, if I give my word on something, I make sure that it is kept. Our entire civilization rides on such things. However, you are not from our civilization. You believe that you can help, but I will not trust you unless you accept the terms given.
You sit there making demands of us. Yet, for some reason, one of us is the one that finally heard a cry for help amongst that song. And if you and I will just say, more than half the queens across the dragon tribes would be smart enough to accept help from those who have been put in positions such as ours, where we have been able to find something that none others in that kingdom have.
The only reason we ever survived the cataclysms that ever came across all of us is because we worked together and accepted outside opinions and experiences. It sounds flowery, it sounds wonderful. We know hardship. We know destruction. We can help if you let us. And if we aren't able to, at least we tried. And if that's the case, we can make arrangements. We could do something. There's always time to help. But
In
you
any
can't.
case,
Hmm.
in any case, making demands of us, holding my wife over our heads sounds a lot like a previous queen that I know of. We're still rebuilding after that. Do you want your people to go to ruin because of your own hubris?
The
I'll
former
start to
queen of.
mumble under her breath. It makes sense, and considering that it makes sense why there's a rebellion against you.
My entire people were nearly annihilated because our leader wouldn't get over their pride, wouldn't get over their need to conquer. Their need to demand of others whatever they wanted. All it took was a little outside help, and we lived.
I'm not looking to conquer. I'm not looking to stay isolated. I'm looking for survival. As you hear his voice slowly begin to rise and the anger that was there earlier continue. I'm simply looking to make sure that my people survive. I'm simply looking for a peaceful resolution here, and those rebelling are currently making that impossible. You immediately ended up siding with them off the start, did you not? You immediately went and ended up killing a few of my guards without hearing a single thing when everything was placed before you for peaceful resolutions from the beginning. And you're the one lecturing me over here whenever you're on ground that you're unfamiliar with and the laws that you do not know.
Well, why is it that Mantis is currently not allowed to leave here? Why have her magically restrained?
You see he leans back and sighs once again. For the last time, I already mentioned. She's here more for her own safety than anything else.
Then why not es- then why not escort her?
I don't
There are many
leave
other
this mansion.
You yourself don't need to leave, but you could have others do it. There are many other solutions to these problems.
The best and easiest solution is that she stays here alongside me where she can be safe.
And then what about others knowing about that other dragon being something that is worth punishment?
Yeah,
Uh,
doesn't add up.
Are you speaking of swords, dragon? As you see Sword
No,
kind of tense up a little bit.
no, I am referring to the one that is responsible for the music box, the one that you said has been with this kingdom since its inception.
Like I said, they aren't locked up. We don't restrain them of any sort. They choose to sleep down there forever since. We don't know why. It doesn't explain. It just chooses it. It has no form of punishment to it. It just stays there.
But why is having knowledge of that dragon worth being punished.
If you knew the things that it was capable of and what it has already done, then you should already know the answer to that. I'm assuming you do, considering you mentioned something earlier of another dragon and what it does.
Darkstalker. Probably the most powerful dragon that ever lived. Capable of anything. Anything other than bringing the dead back to life, from what I heard.
Then you should understand why knowledge of it is punishable.
How? But isn't knowledge important? Knowledge would keep history from repeating, wouldn't it?
If people knew what it's capable of and how easy it was to get what they wanted, then it wouldn't be. For some reason, it seems all of you are unlike our dragons. You don't understand the way that these dragons work. As you see, he looks over towards the dragon that's sitting pretty much next to him. Do you see this dragon? This dragon is not mine. It is bonded with the one in front of him. Dragon, cut yourself. And you see the dragon, without any form of hesitation, take its claws and rakes it across its own scales, drawing blood as it drips to the floor. All dragons will listen and do anything, practically, that a human will ask it to do. Even to its own detriment, even to its own death. The only ones who end up keeping them in control are the ones that they are bonded to, the ones that they are closest to. Could you imagine what people would do should they understand that that dragon down there exists? That they could go down there and get literally anything that they asked for. Anything to the point of even the destruction of an entire people, of an entire civilization, of all of humanity being wiped from existence, of all dragonkind being wiped from existence. Knowledge of its existence is punishable by death. Else everyone else could die.
Now I'm wondering now I'm starting to understand why that dragon decides to sleep most of the time. It's because there already are those who go to it to ask for it to do whatever they want it to do. Because isn't that what some of you and some of yours have been doing, from the sounds of it? Plus, being the last dragon that is like them, and we do have a bit of an idea as to what kind of dragon what tribe they might be from. It would obviously be things would obviously get a bit lonely for them. So why not encourage them to leave where they are staying?
I can imagine
To try and interact with other dragons. And why? Why treat dragons like pets, even if you are raised alongside them? Even I doubt that someone would have commanded her dragon to harm themselves. But telling a dragon to harm themselves just to make a point.
You could have asked it to do anything else.
I could have, but I didn't, because the point being, would you have immediately believed that it would have? would you have immediately have believed that if I asked it to die, that it would have? I doubt that you would have ended up taking that immediately, just by my own words. Actions speak louder than words. Whenever you rule an entire nation, sometimes unhappy things are required. But at this point, I've spoken enough. If you want to go and see that dragon for yourselves, you will accept a few terms that I have before doing so. They aren't big. You need not worry, and I will tell you them before you end up accepting them. But they are the only way that you will be allowed to go down and see the dragon themselves.
Elaborate.
First, no other dragon, no other person knows its location whenever you go and see them. Second, this dragon is absolutely 100% its own free dragon. You are not to take it, you are not to kill it, though it is impossible to do so anyways. But in case there's some magic you have that exists on your land that would be capable of such things, I figured I might as well stipulate it anyways. Finally, after seeing this dragon, should you be unable to fix whatever issues or problems that end up existing, we will meet here again before you do anything reckless, such as try and end up killing any of our guards or fighting any of our people again. Should you end up choosing to side with the revolution afterwards, then so be it. But we will at least have a civil discussion before open war ends up existing. Are all of these terms acceptable?
So be it.
I think perhaps seeing that we're here now, and Mantis is one of ours, Mantis should be allowed to go free. We have a way to get Mantis home.
Should you remember, I am holding Mantis here, so that way we have at least some form of civility between us. The moment the leverage that I have disappears, the moment neither of us will like the outcome.
You hold the ultimate leverage. My queen's life is on the table.
And what happens should
I'll
you
do anything for her.
And what happens should she die before you even end up solving this issue? Exactly.
Well, considering how you're acting, it could be seen as, well, you having kept up too much of our time with, with your arguments.
If one night of a banquet is enough to end up killing your queen, then it would be under your own faults to begin with. Now then, are these terms acceptable, or are they not?
All right, I'm gonna take this conversation over the table. What do you guys think?
Be real, I don't like this guy.
Same here. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of a way to convince him to head. God damn, they have to go.
Because a big thing he's doing is basically literally has my wife hostage.
Mantis, come here a moment.
Mantis will make their way over. Oh, they'll be in between. Oh well. There we go.
Glimmer is going to reach out and touch the collar for a moment, just sort of inspecting it.
Yeah. You can feel kind of the magic behind it and whatnot. Not necessarily understand what it does 100%, but you can kind of feel its purpose.
In that moment, Glimmer is going to cast Dispel Magic on it in an attempt to try and remove the effect.
Okay. Go ahead and roll as per the spell and how it's stated.
Correct. One moment, please. So it is a higher than 3rd level spell, apparently.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so an ability check using charisma. Okay. That's 23.
23. Okay. You end up seeing as your magic manages to, well, not your magic, your animus touch object that you're using.
It
Power.
is, for the record, the object in particular. She's basically while everybody was paying attention to the fact that Mantis is moving around, she pulled out something and she's hiding it, but it's facing towards the other people in the party. They could see it's a little tiny like blue gem of some sort, like a deep blue.
But you touch it up to the collar and whatnot, and you can see the faint glowing around the runes and whatnot fades and disappears.
Now comes the question of if it's removable.
3, 4, 5. 5 in total.
5. 5 what?
Oh no, 5 what? Oh no.
Yep, and you never decided to try and do a stealth check, so you end up seeing 3 people notice it. And they kind of whisper to the king, and the king kind of nods a little bit. Kill them. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
See, okay, I did intend for something like this to happen. I just didn't think we'd go right to combat.
You did just do the exact thing that the king was kind of holding her here for. It's kind of, started a little bit of an issue, a problem here.
See, the thing is, I apparently got a natural 20 for a 23 on my initiative, which is bizarre and funny.
I got a 15.
I
got a 14.
Let me get into turn-based mode.
I just want to mention, Glimmer is going to quickly say, we don't do. What was it? Fuck, I lost it. We don't do prisoners. Except you, Elm.
Except for you, Elm. All right. So let's see. You said you had a 23. What did you have, Frosted Pine?
15.
15. Isopod, what'd you have?
14.
Okay, so it'll be that one, and then I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, actually, no, he's not gonna fight. So let's take him out of the turn order. All right, and then I need to roll how many? Need to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 total. 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll go in the same order that everyone else is. Okay, so that'll be this one first, then that one, and we had 2 12s, which would have been that one, and then that one, and that one. Okay, apply. All right, turn order is set. Everybody, feel free to start. Glimmer, you are up first.
Okay. I'm gonna have Glimmer start by saying, "Don't kill anyone."
Yeah, it would probably be best to run. There's a lot of guards that exist here. These are just the ones who are already here right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to do. Ooh, I really don't have a lot of utility options here.
Let's change the music, shall we?
No.
What is this gonna do? I'm going to. Oh boy. I'm gonna cast Aid on the 3 dragons in the party.
Mm.
With a 3rd level spell slot,
Okay.
giving us plus 10 max HP. I believe it's
Awesome.
10 max HP.
It does. It's 5 every level up, and it's a second level spell, so that would be 10. So both Frosted Pine, Mantis, and Isopod will have plus 10 HP.
Is that temporary hit points or?
It counts as a maximum.
Yeah, so you could just write a note somewhere on the character sheet that says it's temporary 10 HP.
Yeah. So it counts towards your HP maximum, so you can still get temporary hit points on top of that. But it'll only last until the spell ends.
Yeah, which is fortunately
An hour.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so it's long enough, believe me.
All right, so you've done that. Would you like to grab Elm and begin your escape?
Yep. Gonna snatch Elm and then immediately fly up.
Yeah, so you'll use 5 feet to get to Elm, grab Elm, and then you can end up going up a total of...
How do I stay up?
So right click on your character, and then you can enable flying.
It doesn't have that as a thing.
Oh, shit,
for me.
Okay.
For you? If you right click on your character, you'll see next to the kill menu and the morphs is enable flying.
Yeah, it's not on that. I don't have the kill menu there either.
19.5.
That's weird, because I saw you end up enabling flying prior, but there you go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. That's weird, right?
That's weird, because you enabled flying earlier, so I don't know why it's not there now.
Oh, it's because I have to have DM mode on to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
I have raised myself 25 feet up into the air.
Perfect. All right. Anyways, let me disable flying. Well, you're gonna enable flying soon enough anyways. I'll just start it for you. All right. So that is your turn. Frosted Pine.
Technically, hold
Oh,
on 1 second. I
you got
technically
more?
still have a bonus action.
Oh, true, true, true.
I'm going to, because I want to keep everybody else safe, I'm going to use a bonus action and use a channel divinity, I believe? No, it doesn't even do anything. Okay. So, no, it is channel divinity. Okay.
Does
Which
your
is not a
channel?
thing.
Yeah. Does your channel divinity have a work as a bonus action or?
It does say it's a bonus action. So
Nice.
everything within 30 feet of me, which I will actually have done while I was on the ground, that is an enemy within 30 feet of me,
Yeah.
will need to do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Let me get my line tool out. You are right here.
Yep. I'm gonna actually take the position I ended up on and...
Perfect. That actually literally just gets everyone. And it's wisdom saving throw?
Correct.
Ooh.
Now, they have to stay near me. I would like to actually move less up so they can stay close to me and then focus on me.
Alright, well, go ahead and get yourself where you need.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to lower myself.
3 of them will pass, 2 of them will fail. That'll
I go
be
here.
1, 2, 3, and 2. Alright.
I'll be right back. Thanks. Someone just called.
What happens should they fail?
They can't move more than 30 feet away from me. Willingly.
Okay.
And if the creature winds up being more than 30 feet away from me, it ends, apparently. I did not see that. So I might actually have to stay on the ground. I'm sorry for being so finicky. I've never used this before.
It's no worries. Well, I mean, even if you're 25 feet up, you might still just be in range. Hang on.
I moved myself down 5 feet.
Let's lower it.
Infinite range.
Up.
If I have to be lower to the ground, I will be. That's no big deal. I'm sorry for being so weird about it.
Oh, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just awkward moving this thing around.
Fair.
I think it's fine.
With where you're at, you have one of the people who ended up failing in range still. There was only 2 people who failed.
Who are those people? Or are they anybody important?
Well, the one that is currently still in range that failed is the dragon.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
And what about the other one, just so I have a frame of reference?
It's the guard on the Emperor's left side.
Okay.
Off.
Alright, so honestly, I'm fine with keeping the dragon's focus on me.
Okay.
I could fight that. That should be all for me.
Yeah, and they just can't move outside of your range? Is that what it says?
Willingly, yes.
Okay, so they have to stay within 30 feet of you.
Correct. Does that, just out of curiosity, would that just completely subvert the must obey what they're commanded to do thing that happened earlier? Or do I not even know that?
To kill them? To kill all of you?
No, I'm talking about like if the dragon is ordered to move away from me somehow, would that work? Against their will, technically.
It would be against their will technically if they were told to. So I would have to end up going with it via the moment. But
Okay.
the dragon's definitely not doing that. The dragon's definitely trying to kill all of you.
Most likely will focus on me specifically, which is great. Because that's the point.
So, is that your
That's
turn?
all for me. Yep.
Alright. Frosted Pine.
still not here, I think.
Yep.
Well, we will return to their term momentarily. Isopod.
So what I'd like to do is I want to build a wall.
Okay.
Like straight across the table.
Yep. Straight across the table.
Oh, like the stone tiles in the floor are gonna lift up as part of the wall, right? Yeah.
Clearly.
Alrighty. What spell is
Um,
this?
It's actually coral.
Yes. Wall of stone, but reflavored to coral.
Nice. I don't suppose I
So
have
yeah, it's just a
coral in my
giant
stuff.
growing wall of coral.
Yeah.
I have coal. I can make a wall of coal. Hang on.
Oh
Let
my
me
gosh, that's
let me
funny.
let me see if there isn't any coal in the online stuff. Coral. Ships. Yeah, close enough. Sure, I'll take that. Oh, that's.
Oh, that's a thick.
It's a little
That's a
big.
thick.
It's a
Yeah.
biggin.
Just switch it.
Let me just.
That watchtower has no access point. What the fuck is the point of that bridge?
Close enough. There we go.
There we go.
There's just splattered coral everywhere.
Yep.
Yo, who the fuck summoned the Great Barrier Reef?
Let's pull him out. There we go. Oh no, Elm. Elm's buried. Oh, no, you have Elm. That's right. Okay. Moss.
have
Moss is
Elm.
buried.
Oh yeah, and I can just do 10 feet of free movement with the scramble back method. Let's go.
Where is Moss? There's Moss. Come here, Moss. There you go. Boop. There we are. All right. And so you move what is it? 10 feet, and then you can move your normal movement speed after that. So that would be a total of 40 foot of movement for you
Yeah.
if you want it from your position to where you're at. You are currently. Ooh, I'm way off. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for right where
Sorry,
you're
I'm
at.
back.
Ooh.
Welcome back. Your turn had to be temporarily moved back in the turn order.
I built a wall.
Of coral. It's just everywhere. Look at it.
Yeah.
Is that where you're at? No.
Actually, I should probably have picked up sword on my way up.
Yeah. Would you like to grab sword?
Yeah, let's just say I did that. I went over, picked her up, and went flying.
Well, that's about 10 feet.
Okay.
So that would be
So 10 feet.
so that would be 10 feet for your free movement,
Okay.
and
Okay,
then
yeah.
you can move 30 feet from there. Anywhere within that square circle right there.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna say it was.
actually, you're perfectly practically where you would be. So that's actually
Yeah.
that actually works. All right.
Cool. That works for
Yeah.
me.
Let me give sword flying, and we're gonna move sword up with you.
Yep. She got yoinked.
Yoinkage. All right, there you go.
Mhm. Nice.
All right, and back to
Uh,
Frosted Pine, unless you have a bonus
Yeah.
action.
My bonus action was running away.
Bonus action.
Hypothetically,
Ew.
you do technically have a bonus action, I think.
Oh, do I actually for real? Hold up.
I think you have
Is
your
it Coral Yeet?
yeah your
Chromatic infusion? No.
I think your
Hold on,
coral
sorry.
eat is a bonus.
It is an attack. But
Yeah,
like,
it is.
That's the thing. I said not to kill anyone.
Yeah, you can throw it at someone and not kill them.
Damage them a
True.
little bit if you want. How far is your
Beat 'em up.
coral yeet?
60 feet range.
Looks like you can get everybody.
Sweet. It's 1d10. Okay. I have to
Smack that dragon
remember.
in the face.
What?
So hold on. The coral yeet has its own attack option.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I'm saying hit the dragon.
Thank you.
Dragon could be a
I'm
problem.
throwing at the dragon. 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
No! Okay. It just ploinked away.
Yep, you see
that-
the iron quill kind of bounces off of it.
Oh,
Alright, is that your turn?
that's my turn.
All right, Frosted Pine, it is now your turn.
Alright, so I'm just going to fly up with moss and which one is hey, how far away am I from the iron wing?
You are
Right next.
currently about 20 feet away, roughly, almost. More like
So,
15 if we were going edge to edge.
yeah, just going to fly up and try to start working my way away with moss.
All right. 30 feet is at the edge of that bubble.
The only
All right.
question is, where is Mantis in the turn order?
Mantis is a little bit farther behind. Next up is the Iron Wing. All right. The Iron Wing is going to go ahead and pick up their own person using about 10 feet of movement. Enable flying. And then with the remaining speed that they have, can they get to you? They have 20 feet left.
Yeah.
You are just at the edge of that bubble, so yes, they can. Right about there? No, a little too far.
Yeah.
Deceptive in its distance with the clear. All right, there we are. It is going to go ahead and make an attack against you. You will notice specifically that it starts off with using its own hide, kind of trying to ram you a little bit with all of those iron quills. 13 misses you, I assume?
Correct.
Okay. That will be its turn. Next is the knight.
Okay.
This is one of the ones that was in your AoE, but then, you got out of the AoE, so it's no longer in effect. It is going to move over here. Hang on. To about the edge of the coral using 15 feet. And then you notice that they are going to end up using their action as they end up basically slamming their own shield against their chest plate. And you will begin to notice that they also begin to start kind of flying in the air. But that is using up their action. They are not going to be able to continue moving for this round. Next is Sword. Sword does not have any ranged weaponry. They can't do much of anything, so they are going to currently cling onto you, Mantis, and they're going to go ahead and hold their, or not Mantis, Isopod, and they're going to hold their action to attack should anything end up getting too close. The human alongside of you, Glimmer, is going to go ahead and start chanting a little bit, and they are going to cast a spell. Actually, you know what? No, they aren't going to attack you. They are going to instead. How do I clear? Clear. I don't want. Fine, I'll roll it, but that means nothing because they're casting it on their own dragon. They're going to end up casting a spell on their dragon. You are unsure of what it is, but they've done something to their dragon.
Can I cut in and counterspell that?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and actually, if it's third level or lower, it automatically goes through. So it would automatically go through. It's not that high of a level. So you successfully counterspell it.
Heck yeah.
So what would that look like, out of curiosity?
Well, you see the sorcerer kind of raise his hand a little bit as you see energy begin to more or less form in his hand, and right as he is going down to slam it onto his dragon, you can explain the rest if you like, Isopod.
Well, Icepod had been muttering something else under his own breath, basically noticing, that guy's about to use magic, can't have that. So basically, the energy orb kind of just dispersed.
I can imagine that's quite confusing.
It
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah, would be.
Elm
Oh, where'd it
is
go?
next.
Dang it,
Elm.
Mantis didn't even get a turn.
Oh, you're right, Mantis. Mantis, thank you for reminding me. I skipped straight over Mantis. Mantis is not a fighter, like, at all. And Mantis does not fight. Mantis is going to... super shakes.
Glimmer's
She's
just gonna
terrified.
yell, "Get the heck out of here!"
She's gonna sink into the ground because I can't lift her up. Hang
She's
on.
struggling.
Okay.
Ah,
I have
no, I
to
said run away, not meld into the fucking floor.
I have to recall her. There we go. New Mantis. Bam.
New Mantis.
Ah, clone.
It's going to go up, we'll say 20 feet, and then it's going to move over towards you guys 10 feet.
The action dash as well, technically.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right,
yeah.
because she's not attacking. Because
Oh yeah, she can just book it.
she
Yeah,
will
priority 1 was getting Mantis out of here the whole time.
go
By the way.
over
Yeah.
to you guys specifically, because you are going to be able to protect her better than anything else.
Yeah.
So she's going to fly over.
Nice.
Now it'll be Elm. They are a little too close. Or actually, no, never mind. She's not actually using a bow. She's using a spear. So she will end up pulling her spear out and try to attack the other human that is on the dragon. However, you do notice that the human ends up seemingly redirecting the attack to themselves. If you are wondering, they have the ability to basically make any attack swap between them or the dragon, which is a good thing because it is hitting the human instead of the dragon.
Hmm.
Because that was a natural 20.
I'm
Dang.
just gonna say it now. Shoot for non-lethal, Elm, please. Then again, Elm doesn't technically have to listen to me.
Elm isn't super happy with you to begin with. Okay, that's going to be 13 points of piercing damage to the human. Alright. It is on to the other knight. The other knight is going to end up doing the same thing. They're going to move up here, and they're going to slam their their shield to their chest plate and begin their flight as well. Glimmer, it is back up to the top of the round.
Okay. A moment. Just a moment. Okay. I'm gonna attempt to cast Command on the dragon.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw, I believe.
Yes, and I'm also gonna do it at 2nd level so I can do 2 targets.
Okay.
I'm going to... I'm gonna basically... Yes, yeah, it's a wisdom saving throw. I'm gonna put it into the chat here so I can look at it. I'm gonna tell both the dragon and the person riding the dragon down.
Okay. I just rolled for both of them, and on the dice, not even their modifiers, it was a 17 and an 18.
Okay.
So I believe they both succeed. Because I think yours...
I said yes.
Yeah, because I think you have a 16, if I remember correctly.
I have a 15, actually.
Oh, man, I thought you had higher.
I know, I don't know what that... Hold on, why is that so bad?
What is your modifier for your charisma?
Oh, it's a +3, so yeah, I actually do need to buff my charisma.
Yep, that'll have to be, well, let's see, you're level 9 right now. You won't get to be able to buff it until you end up reaching 12.
Which by then is the end of the game anyway. So
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
With that, would you like to do anything with your bonus action or your movement?
Let me check what I have bonus action wise. It doesn't say if this is an action or bonus action, but I'm assuming it uses the spell. Okay, so yeah, I only have fireball stored in there. I don't know if I want to do that, and I have to use an action on that anyway.
Yep. So movement then?
I'm going to go far enough away. I'm gonna actually, because I want to be sure that everything's safe. I'm gonna fly 30 feet. I want to go to the top of the flag thing up here, if I can make that.
I believe you have maybe just enough distance to the flag. There's 30 feet. You can make it pretty close to the edge of one of those flags.
Alright, let me attempt to do that. Okay, I can grab Glimmer. Go right there, right?
Yep.
We'll take Elm with.
Yep. And you could go up a little bit if you want, because it's anywhere in that sphere.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna. Whoop.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Cool. All right.
I just want to stay within range of the other dragon so I can keep it busy.
Okay. There is an attack of opportunity for leaving its zone, although you have a pretty high AC, so we'll see.
I want it to hit me.
19 hit you?
Of course.
All right. They are going to bite at you, and they are going to deal. Yeah. 7 points of piercing damage.
That will be 4, please.
Heavy armor master. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so you get 4 points of damage then. All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, it just kind of bit down on a little bit of hard metal. I was like, ouchie.
Owie.
Yeah, that's it.
Frosted Pine.
So once you just fly within range of the, like within 15 feet of the Iron Wing, this would be
You want to get 15 feet within range of the Iron Wing?
Yeah. Wait, we're trying to.
You're measuring from Wimmer right now.
Okay. So yeah, he's still within range of that, so that's good. There is 30 feet right there. And you're trying to get within 15 feet, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
There you are. There's 15 feet.
Alright, so I'm just going to hit it with my Frost Breath, just try to get them to back off.
Okay.
Well, they can't. Like, they actually can't back off. They have to be within range of me.
That is 20 damage.
They need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
That'll be for the rider and the dragon. Rider fails, dragon succeeds. And you said how much damage?
20.
20? Okay, so it's going to be 20 for them, 10 for those. All right. Is that your turn? Or would you like to use the rest of your movement speed?
Yeah, use the rest of my movement speed just to back off again.
Get back to where you were earlier. Fair enough.
Yep.
All right. Isopod.
Let me see. Hmm. You know, I'm gonna use venom missile
Ooh,
on
okay.
like obviously I'm trying to be non-lethal, but I'm gonna use the venom missile
Okay.
on probably the dragon.
Alrighty.
Okay. Venom missile 2, 3. So 2, 4, that's 8. And then can I also have the hive wing stinger for the extra 1d6 poison damage?
That's melee range, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh shit, never mind.
However,
That's 8 damage then.
Okay. I forget which version. Is this the normal one, or is this the one that we reflavored from Jim's?
no, this is the normal one.
This is the normal one? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's just auto hit then. Alright. 6 damage, you
Yeah.
said?
8.
8?
Is
Okay.
there any enemy within 10 feet of Isopod?
No.
Then no, that doesn't apply. What I was looking at.
So 8 damage to them. Alright.
And I think I can still do the scramble back method.
You
It was
get,
No.
you believe you
Yes.
just get 10 feet every time you cast a leveled spell, period, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
I'm
could
still gonna scramble back 10 feet.
10, and then you
Let's
can
see.
still do your movement after that for 30.
Yeah, how do I see the measures? Oh, okay. Oh, shh.
So you would have 30, 40. So you'd have 40 feet. There you go.
So
Anywhere in that
looking
bubble.
at taking, obviously I'm taking her with me.
Yep.
There we go. Okay.
All
And I
right.
am good.
All right. It is the silver dragon's turn. And there, there's 2 dragons currently basically getting away right now.
But it
So
can't leave the
it
30-foot
can't
range of me.
leave. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna use 2 of its tail spike barbs, and it is going to fling 1 at Mantis, and it's gonna fling 1 at Isopod.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Isopod, you are currently a little far away for it to be able to kind of get you normally. You are in its far range, which means it has disadvantage to try and hit you. So it misses you.
Ooh.
And it is going to fling 1 at Mantis. It is within range for Mantis, so it's just a normal roll on Mantis.
I see dice all over the freaking map. Holy
Wait.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, 4.
and it misses Mantis. So
Oh my
Yay.
god.
both of you are currently in the clear. It's going to use its movement to get closer towards Glimmer.
Glim glam.
From Lamb.
Boom. And it already ended up using its action, so that is all it has.
Ooh.
The knight is going to go ahead and use his action in order to be able to dash to get closer.
Oof.
Dang.
No, that's not what I wanted to hit. I want my knight, please. I would love to have my knight. Okay, fine. I have to get rid of that. It is within range of Mantis and the dragon. It'll go for the dragon first. Whoop.
No.
Boom.
Oh no, it flies.
Yeah, whenever it hit the shield against its chest plate, it activated some kind of magic. So there we go. It used its action, so it does not have anything else it could do. Sword, nobody is near. They will use their action to ready their action to attack if anything is close. The human spellcaster, how far away are you? Because your counterspell is 60 feet, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you are
Oh
out
no.
of range for that now. So now it is going to use its action to cast that spell properly this time, and it's going to slam it down on their dragon, applying something that you do not know what it is. Mantis is going to use their turn to make sure that they stay close to their beloved. And then Elm is up. They're going to use their spear. Oh, fine. I won't kill the thing. I'll just hurt it really, really bad. It doesn't need an arm, right?
Fair enough.
Oh,
Oh,
she crits a second time.
she friggin' brutalizes them. My goodness, Elm.
Elm has just had enough shit these days.
Yeah.
That is going to be 11 points of damage to the spellcaster. It
The
is
question is that effect concentration that you applied.
And it is this knight's turn, and they are going to fly out to here. That's going to be their 60 feet as they try to catch up to all of you. Glimmer, it is back to you again.
All right. I'm going to. I'm going to attempt to cast command again.
Okay. On the
Doing
both of them?
Same thing. Yep. Down. Same level.
Alrighty. The spellcaster fails. The dragon succeeds.
So yeah, okay.
The spellcaster will go prone on the dragon. I will say for now he is unable to use his ability to swap targets.
I mean, hey, that's down. Okay, I should have been a bit more careful with that. The word choice.
Do you have anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna move. Wait,
All
if they're laying prone on the dragon, are they holding on enough to not fall off?
You do notice, specifically if you end up looking at the photos that I had drawn and whatnot, you'll notice a bit of harnessing around the legs. That's kind of what they use to harness into their mounts. If you could get rid of that, you could definitely end up, severing it in order to make them fall, if that's what you're looking for.
I was just wondering.
Yep. There is definitely a way to do it though, if you decide, if you try to get rid of that harnessing specifically. That'd be a called shot. Anyways, I don't know why I had one dice prepared. Oh yeah, I was gonna attack you once you moved.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely gonna move. I'm gonna move exactly
flying around the map.
within range to not let this. Can you get me the distance thing again?
Oh yeah, sure. Here, ignore that dice roll. It won't count.
Yay! Damn it!
All right. Where are you going for? The flag again?
No, just away from here. The
Here.
flag was just a reference point to distance people.
That is 30 feet. Anywhere within that bubble.
Am I in the bubble still?
You are still in the bubble.
Okay, I would like to go uppy.
There you go. All right.
I am there.
And now this will be a good damage roll, maybe. No, still not a good damage roll. Does not hit.
Glimmer just like smacks with the wing, like nuh-uh.
Bad. Frosted Pine. You got a knight directly on you.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just going to go ahead and bat them away with my talons. That is a 26.
A 26 would hit.
I got max roll on damage at 10.
Ooh, nice. 10 plus your...
No, it was 6. No, it was 1d6 plus 4.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
So 10
okay.
max damage on a single hit from the talons.
10 damage, okay.
Yeah, I am specifically trying to like knock them away.
Oh, you're aiming
with
you're
that
aiming
attack.
to like push?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have Battle Master, so instead of doing the damage, we can push.
Yeah, just push
Yeah.
them away.
Okay, so no damage, you push, and we'll say it's 10 feet.
Yeah, and then I'll
And
they
we'll
have
do,
the
Straight down into
other
the fire. Kidding.
there you
knight is close enough. I'll use the freezing death breath on them.
Yeah, let's try not to kill this person.
You
Freezing death
already
breath.
used your action for something else. You wouldn't be able to use your freezing breath.
I have extra attack.
Extra attack ends up working for your normal attacks. Your frost
Okay.
breath only is that one thing. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
trade-off. You either use your frost breath or you get multiple attacks.
Right. So with extras, I will be able to. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to fly over to Icepod and Imantis.
There you are. Right. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Isopod.
I gotta figure out what I want to do. How many more enemies are there? Everyone?
Everyone.
We haven't killed anything, so we're just fleeing at this point.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Apparently, you can just control the weather.
Yeah.
We'll have to go in about 10 minutes. Maybe about 5 minutes.
Oh, wait a minute! I can use banishment!
Oh.
Yeah, it's a 60-foot range. Never mind. No, I can't.
You could banish the knight.
I could. I'll banish the knight then.
Yeah, you could banish
one?
one or the other one. Unless I think you do have the ability because of one of your what is it, meta magics to target two with a single action. With a single target, don't you?
No, that would be twin spell. And I don't have that.
Oh, okay.
If you use a 5th level spell slot, you can target 2 creatures.
Oh.
Oh.
So there you go.
Spell slot,
Yeah,
5 spell points instead of 4.
Yeah, I'll do that instead.
Okay, dope. So that's going to be a wisdom roll from them both. Is it wisdom that it says, or?
I can't find it.
It is charisma.
It is charisma.
With a spell save of 15.
So the one farther away fails, but the closer one succeeds. So.
Oh, okay.
He goes, ah! And that one has disappeared.
I'm gonna use scramble back method to go 10 feet away.
And then you still have your further movement, should you want it, which would be a total of 50.
Not you. I'm gonna say she got dragged along.
Yep. Because she
There we go.
didn't she riding on the back?
Yep.
All right. It is the
I'm just
dragon's
looking at.
turn. And I just made sure to double check. That is you. And that is 30 feet. It is officially outside of your range at this point.
More than 30 feet, isn't it?
You said your AoE for your stay within range is 30 feet, right?
Oh, is it actually genuinely outside of it?
Yeah, there is your 30 feet
shit.
from your marker. And it is
Okay,
not
fair
touching the
point.
bubble. I just wanted to
Fair
double
point.
check.
I should have double checked it myself. I thought I was still in range of both things. It's fine. Whatever. Oh. That's a problem.
It used its bonus action with the spell that it was given to be able to dash. Otherwise, normally it cannot dash like that. And you are both officially within its close range. So 1 for each. All right. Isopod, does a 15 hit your AC?
Yes.
Oh God, let me. It does. Hold up, let me make sure. It does. Damn it, yeah.
Your AC is like 13, I think.
I forgot.
All right. This is to you,
You who?
Isopod. You're going to be taking only 3 points of piercing. That's not bad.
Yeah,
Ouch,
just a little poke.
existence.
Ouch! My entire blood. All of my blood is gone.
It more or less scrapes your you, and this is going to be
Might
Your
me.
against
entire you.
Mantis. That is going to be a 18. Now, unfortunately, you are not wearing any form of harnessing gear. I would like you to make a Constitution saving throw real quick.
Who?
Isopod.
Oh no.
Shit.
14?
Yeah, you flinch. And yeah, you notice that she begins to fall as she falls off of you. And she does not have a whole lot of armor. She is also starting to fall. You
that's not good.
notice that specifically Sword, she's wearing her harnessing gear as normal, but you have nothing to harness onto.
Oh crap.
And Mantis got a spike into the wing. She cannot
Oh
fly.
no. Oh no. I had a feeling I would have to make this choice.
It is officially the knight. The knight is going to move in.
It's my fault.
And is now within engagement range of Frosted Pine and is going to attack. That is going to hit.
All right, what can I do for this situation?
Okay, so what is it in total after 18?
Yeah, you need to make a Constitution saving throw. You're going to take, what's that? 6 points of slashing damage. And I
On the
need you.
saving throw, I got 20. On the saving throw, I got 27.
27. Okay, so you do not flinch.
How much damage did I take?
6 points of slashing.
Alright. Well, anyways, I need to get going and start getting ready for work now.
Yep, you're all good. No worries. We'll kind of make your character get out of here so you don't have to worry too much about it. All right, Sword. Sword can't do anything.
Oh no.
human spellcaster is going to cast a spell and probably going to end up casting it on Frosted Pine more likely than anything else. Frosted Pine's going to have to make a saving throw. I'm going to go ahead and roll for him real quick. Frosted Pine succeeds.
Important question.
Yes.
The way that banishment works here, in this universe,
Yeah.
would that return someone to their actual home, or?
It's either their home plane, but since there is no other plane, it just puts them in a pocket dimension temporarily.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sent, yeah.
Yep. It is Mantis. Mantis can't do anything. Elm. Elm is not in range of anybody. Other knight is banished. Glimmer.
Seeing everything going to shit, how far away am I from Mantis?
You
Even
are
with dash.
with dash.
If I was going to dash.
If you were gonna dash, that is 60 feet.
Okay. Can I do anything? Give me a moment, please.
Yep.
When this session ends, I'm gonna have a serious conversation about what spells we should actually keep in the ring because we need more utility for Glimmer.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because a Misty Step would be like a godsend right now.
Yeah.
I think the best I can do is attempt to just. So how far does does somebody fall in one turn without? Without being able to fly.
Normally, it is somebody actually did the calculations. They ended up using like feather fall as the example, and they actually did the calculations. It'd be 150 feet a turn. Normally, they would already be on the ground, but I'm giving an opportunity to be able to try and save them.
So how far in a turn do you think Mantis would fall?
Well, it's basically going to be this next turn.
Oh.
If it hits Mantis's turn again, that's it.
Okay. I can't do anything about this other than get closer and try to help.
All right, so you dash your 60 feet?
Yep, straight over.
Okay.
Is that still it right there?
Yep, you're still in. You're good.
Wait, you don't have Misty Step from my rank? No, I didn't give you Misty Step again?
You didn't give it again, no.
I thought I did. Fuck.
Hold on, let me check.
I just thought about that.
The only thing I have marked down is Fireball.
Shit. Okay.
Hypothetically, I could be closer because of the way the sphere works, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to end up being like on the bottom edge, yeah, you can move anywhere within that sphere.
Okay, so I'm still within the sphere, but I want to be a bit lower.
Yep.
Let me try to figure out how this works. Okay, I'm gonna put myself here.
Yeah, you need to go over just a little bit more, but yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And then it's about the closest point I can get while still being in that distance.
Yep. So there you go. You're good.
So this is what Glimmer would do. Even if she doesn't think she can make it in time, she's gonna try.
She's gonna go for it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
It is Frosted Pine. Frosted Pine is currently engaged. I'm going to. Honestly, he would probably, or Frosted Pine, she would probably end up trying to prioritize moss over anything else. So I'm going to have Frosted Pine disengage and make a run for it.
Fair enough. Damn.
Probably more like right here. Isopod.
Thinking.
Okay. Hypothetically, if you banish one of them, I can get to where they are and save them from the fall.
Oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, you're right.
You could also do it to both of them. And can you end banishment at any time willingly? Let me check. Spell ends before the limit. Doesn't say anything about you ending it at will.
Nope. But
Mhm.
if you do cast it, then your previous concentration. Actually, you didn't even roll for concentration on your last one, but that's fine.
Oops.
It will end concentration on your other one.
Okay.
At this point, that's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would probably be safer to banish Mantis more than anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Well, 4 banish Mantis. That's 4 spell points.
60 feet, I believe, should be within range. Yeah, that looks like it's within range if it's 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'd imagine Mantis swapping places with the other person in that pocket dimension. Like they pass by each other, like what the fuck?
Yeah. And then, while she's being banished.
Wait, no, you
for her
can
own
end.
safety.
Hold on. You can end concentration on something whenever you want, so you
Yeah.
can end
okay.
it at will. Okay.
Okay. Anyways.
So.
Yeah, Mantis is banished, and I'm also going down toward the sword.
Yeah.
To grab and keep from falling.
Yep. Hang on, I'm rolling.
Well,
16.
16 what?
For the saving throw.
For.
Well, for Mantis.
Banishment or.
Yeah.
Well, Mantis can let it happen, technically
she
speaking.
Can let it happen.
But panicking, probably not.
She's in the middle of falling to her death.
Yeah. That's a. What did Mantis roll again?
He 16. Didn't roll for banishment. Oh.
Say the number again. Sorry, I didn't hear it.
16.
Shit. That's a pass.
Fuck.
I think that might be it.
Oh.
Hang on, I want to see if sword is going to do something. It was, yeah. Isopod, you watch as sword watches you basically agonize over this choice, making you choose between one or the other in order to potentially end up saving. You see her kind of close her eyes as she opens them up again. A couple tears run down as you watch her pull out the quill dagger that she has, and she runs it down her arm.
Oh.
You can see from this that she is going to bleed to death. She has taken the choice from your own hands.
Okay.
Oh.
There is basically only one person you could probably end up saving at this point now.
Well, I'm going for Mantis then.
Yeah, you would have enough with the 40 feet of movement that you would have anyways. So you can just make it to Mantis.
Okay. Can't really stop Demorn yet.
Yeah, this is all during a free fall.
Yeah.
The Silver Dragon is going to go next, seeing that two of the dragons have basically stopped at this point. They are going to try and go after Frosted Pine. And they are going to try and attack.
Half away from sword. More than 60, I think.
You are more than 60 from sword, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see what that was. What was that? That is a 9. They
Do
failed.
I,
They do not hit.
Do I still sound okay, by the way? I accidentally
Yeah,
nudged something.
you sound fine. The knight reappears. Ooh, no. I need to get into I forget how to get into that mode. Oh no, I forget how to get into the view everything mode. I think it's tab. Tab. There we go. Boop. He appears again.
Kaboom.
Night jump scare.
Ah, yes. A jump scare from the night. In the night.
And boom.
This song is pretty neat, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is. I might as well swap it over to the next one because this one's played a few times in a row.
At least
Where
43.
here we go. Battle Metal 2.
Oh.
He is going to dash within range of you. However, he used a dash action. He does not have any actions to be able to attack you right now.
Oh, towards me?
Yep. Sword
Oh no.
closes her eyes as she ends up falling all the way to the ground, hitting it. Oh, you knocked her down for me.
Yes.
Hashtag dead.
Yeah. Icepod had been watching full of anguish, though he kept his grip on Mantis, keeping her up. But he
Yeah.
is just messed up
Yeah.
having witnessed that.
Yeah, you will be going down to the ground together, but it's a controlled fall. Neither of you will take any damage.
Yeah.
The
Word.
spellcaster. I'm gonna roll for him real quick.
At least not fall damage.
Wait, how far is the spellcaster away from Isopod?
5. Yeah, alright.
How far away is he from Icepod?
Oh, the
60 or
spellcaster?
less?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah. Should be.
Oh boy, 60 or less.
Oh, good.
What's he doing?
Yep, okay. Well, I had him roll for empathy, more or less, just to see if, because he just ended up watching somebody who was a part of his own, group, more or less just sacrifice themselves for another dragon. And as far as y'all could tell, they do love their dragons a lot. And he basically failed his role. So more or less,
He failed his empathy.
he's extremely empathetic in this moment.
Oh,
shit.
You
damn,
see
okay.
him kind of look away a little bit, and he whispers something to his dragon, and you can see the dragon's, almost bloodlust kind of simmer a bit. It is Mantis. You will both end up going to the ground, so you can disable flying. Both of you will be on the ground, but don't worry about any damage. You don't take any.
Just plop.
Just plop. Ah! Elm
Sword, why didn't you just
is
do that?
Sword. Why didn't you just plop to the ground? It's so much easier. Elm will strike at the knight. I swear, if Elm gets another critical.
That's gonna be hilarious.
No, but they do
Okay.
still hit. Okay.
Elm is just the MVP.
Elm is just slowly turning into the fucking Doomslayer.
That's gonna be
Already immortal.
5 points of damage to this knight. This is the knight over here. This knight is going to continue to chase after, as this is basically the only one currently not escaping. They are going to attack. They miss. Y'all have really high AC. Glimmer.
Alright. So Glimmer, now realizing these people genuinely have taken a life. She has no problem killing now.
Yeah, now it's over.
Glimmer is going to basically do a full flip and just swing the shit out of that halberd
Heck yeah.
at the knight. That's a 20 to hit for the first hit.
Dirty or
30.
yeah, still hits.
9 slashing. I'm gonna smite on that. Do I have enough spell slots?
You should.
I do absolutely have enough spell slots. I'm gonna do.
Woo.
I need to
I'm gonna
clear all these dice. I have so many dice.
Yeah, it's slightly lagging the game.
Let's just start.
2d8 damage for a 14 more damage.
Ooh, nice. And you still have another attack.
I do.
Oh,
Wing
boy.
for a 21 to hit, dirty.
Yep.
5 more. And I could hypothetically. Can I smite more than once? I believe I can for every hit.
Yes, every single hit you can smite. So
Alright.
if you had like action surge, or maybe you were even a monk or something like that, you could smite every last hit.
That's ridiculous. That's good to know. More damage. 11 more damage.
All right. Tell me how you would like to end this night.
So, Glimmer is facing away from it. She'll flip over backwards and just slash down this knight's back. And then flying underneath will go up again and like slice up the stomach. Basically just cut the dude in half all the way around.
Alrighty. You do so, and they fall in pieces.
It's just like the halberd is glowing like this ominous purpley color as that's happening. That's the color of the divine smite for her.
Okay. Frosted.
I still have a bonus action. So
You do indeed.
Anybody else within 30 feet of me that I can brutalize with my tail attack? Probably not.
I think you're just outside of range for that. Yeah, you're just outside of. Well, you haven't. Well, no, you did use your action. So yeah, that is as close as you could get to the other knight, because you've noticed that the dragon and the spellcaster seem to have more or less decided that they were finished.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's enough. A life for a life and all.
Okay. So you're gonna run for it then?
I'm gonna have Glimmer swoop down towards the other two, but in a general, I'm just gonna have her move down a little.
Okay. If you would like to kind of fall and then kind of use your movement, you can do that. You can get all the way to the ground.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just want to get down there.
Yeah, so you'll just get down to the ground.
Can you put me where okay, just down there where the knight fell, and then I'll move down. Oh, that's more than enough distance, isn't it?
There you go.
All right. And I still have technically a bonus action, don't I? Oh. So did anybody take any damage between those two?
Mantis has taken a decent bit of damage, especially since they're not a fighter. They're counted more as a commoner, but a little bit stronger than a commoner. They have about 10 hit points. They're nearly already dead, which is why they basically ended up losing flight.
I'm gonna see what I can do about that. One moment. I'm gonna use Turn the Tide. It's a bonus action using my last divinity charge.
Yep.
I will restore hit points to everybody within 30 feet of me, equal to 1d6 plus my charisma modifier, which is minimum of 3. So let me roll
Nice.
minimum 4. Sorry. Let me roll that d6. So that is 5 HP on Mantis.
Okay, so Mantis will get
And also
5, and Isopod will get 5.
I'm technically myself as well, so I'm gonna
Indeed.
restore myself up to full damage.
Frosted Pine, noticing that the other two are kind of backing off at this point, is going to strike at the knight at this point. That's a natural 20 on Frosted Pine's part.
That's hardcore.
They have a second attack. I might as well. That's going to miss, but they can get advantage if they use their ability, so I'll go ahead and have them use that. That didn't help.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Nope and extra nope.
Nat 20. They said they had a d6, so we'll do that. I'm assuming they have a +5 in their strength. That's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points of damage. The knight has already taken a bit of damage. That is enough for the knight. The knight is also down.
The knight has plummeted.
Yep, and that is currently all of the combatants more or less in the area. Y'all don't have long, but these two are not going to fight. They are going to leave. So that is going to be the end of combat.
We are booking it.
Yep, I will allow any
ahead,
last minute things that y'all like, including a small moment with sword should you like. Let's get different music for this because this does not work for this.
Yeah, I'm thinking for the sake of keeping everyone moving, Mantis has taken damage to the wing, correct?
Yeah, more or less.
So I would want to have Glimmer in the moment that combat ends to just kind of try to heal that, remove anything that's stuck in it or whatever, and just use the lay on hands effect and try to mend it.
Yep.
How much do you think that would be worth?
With what is left, there's not that much left. I believe it would end up being about 3 in total.
That's more than fair. I've got 40 of it.
Yep. Let me go ahead and bring these two down as well. Just that way everybody's kind of on the same level. As this is going to be our final moments for this session.
Yeah.
You see Sword currently lying there, kind of coughing a bit. Out of game, they're basically dead. They're already dead. There's no healing them. Just that way you don't have to waste any unless you just want to. Because the fall, the fall would have been enough to automatically kill them. But I'm giving y'all kind of like a final goodbye here. But so you see Sword kind of coughing up a bit of blood. They're barely able to open their eyes at this point. The arm that they ended up slashing to kind of take Isopod's choice away, kind of there. Very weakly, Sword holds the quill dagger in her hand, kind of against her chest. She gives a bit of a weak smile up at Isopod. Said I wasn't losing anymore.
Isopod's shaking. He kind of like presses his snout against the side of Sword's head, basically, so at least even In her final moments, she's got someone there.
Glimmer is going to try and do something. Basically going to dump the entirety of the remaining lay on hands points into just that crystal is basically burning her hand a little bit with how much power she's pushing through it. But it's not going to do anything, and she would try.
Yep. You notice maybe some of the blood kind of recedes back in, but no matter how much you're pouring in, the blood runs out faster than it goes back. She gently presses her head back against Isopod's a little bit, and with a very weak voice, kind of says, "Just promise me one thing." And she very weakly raises her hand, holding the quill dagger made from her own dragon's quills up. "Make sure this reaches his heart. He has to pay for what he did."
Isopod's still shaking, but he nods. He's begun to cry now.
Very,
I'll make sure.
yeah.
I'll do everything in my power to make sure he pays for this.
With the last bit of strength that she has, she one last time gently ends up running her hand up and down your neck, trying to help you calm down like she would do all the time, which you now realize must have been how she would regularly do that for her own dragon. "Don't cry. It'll be okay." And with that last few words, you end up hearing the last of the breath in her lungs escape as her hand falls back down. And you see the final thing on her face is a very weak, but still there, smile.
When all is said and done, Isopod lets out a gut-wrenching roar, one full of mourning, anguish, regret that he couldn't save her, too.
And that is where we are going to go ahead and end this session for today.
I will say it for everyone's. I guess if anyone really wants to keep track of this, I was going to have Glimmer, and I'm sure everyone else would agree. I'm gonna have Glimmer basically say we're not leaving the body here. We're gonna go bury this shit with the dragon.
Yeah.
The very least we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to Effervescence, her dragon.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of the reveal of Glimmer's secret?
That hit me like a train.
Yeah, Queen Glory is currently dying of a sickness.
Darkstalker, is that you?
Darkstalker, how dare you!
It isn't an oddly strange and kind of familiar sort of thing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why I held on to that one, and I was waiting for the right moment, and I realized if there's anything that I could do to try to leverage a situation, it would be to drop a bombshell like that.
Mm.
Fair enough.
I want
They
you to
come to
know. I want you to know you shot me ahead of my schedule. I planned I planned potentially to maybe end up giving a choice like this, like way later down the line, but your dispel magic on the collar ended up skyrocketing some of the plans forward.
I mean, hey, I was secretly plotting to do that the entire session. Once I found out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it to the players to end up, changing the DM's plans all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured Glimmer wouldn't stand for that ever.
Mm-mm.
Hey, that's fair. That's
After
fair.
after what her dad did
Mhm.
for the Nightwing Queen,
Oh, you mean the bitch?
the one who melted and froze to death and then melted.
Oh, the bitch being the father, not
Yep.
her.
Oh yeah, same thing, same thing.
Mhm.
I guess they're both the same person now.
Yeah, exactly. They're both a bitch.
But y'all have any last minute things you want to end up telling anybody maybe watching this either on YouTube or Twitch?
Well, either way, I want to hear people's thoughts on how things went today. Really, anything at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Leave them in the comments. Leave it on our Discord channel.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I know I could have handled things a lot better, and that's because I'm not Glimmer. I know I could have done better.
Glimmer, not so much.
Yeah, this is not something she was prepared for.
Yeah. I wasn't prepared to learn, oh hey, Queen Glory's dying.
And has been.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't even told you how long she has left to live.
Oh no.
It's not long.
Oh. Oh no.
Over the table, it's about a month and a half, potentially less.
Oh.
Yep.
That explains a lot.
Y'all gotta find out what's going on and solve it as quick as you can.
Oh jeez.
That's why
But
Glimmer's sort of panicking and trying everything she can.
Yeah.
but that's gonna be it for us, guys. Thank you for anybody who's either watching on YouTube or ends up watching this on Twitch. Appreciate you guys. Check out our Discord. Catch you guys.